Say, I'll take the sausage, the eggs, the bacon, and toast.
I want some
The
tea.
orc
That's
kind
cool.
of gives you a suggestive grin, but then writes it down and says, "All right, I'll give you as much sausage as you."
Fuck me. All right.
Oh my god.
Well, that was the implication.
I mean, well, I was just gonna ask for some of that as well, but I guess, oops.
Changed your mind, did you?
So the orc looks at the rest of you and says, "How can I help the rest of you?" And he says this in an uncommon and not orc.
I was just gonna get the same.
He gives you a wink and nod and writes it down and says, "Alrighty then."
We're all gonna get
Oh,
raped behind the end later.
They're having.
Ulrich's just gonna sit there confused, and he's gonna look over at Crane and go, "Why'd he wink at me?"
Oh, don't worry. It's just a friendly service.
Oh. Okay.
Do the rest of you order anything, or do you
Yeah,
just...
no. Like I said, I would turn to the waiter and I'll guess I'll have what they're having.
Alrighty then. He writes it down.
I'd say just bring the same for the whole table.
Yeah, pretty much.
He
We're
gives
all
a gruff
carnivores
nod
here.
and stows the paper away and says, "Alrighty then, I'll be back in about 10 minutes."
Sausage party.
He chuckles as he walks off and heads back into the back of the kitchen.
So I turned to the party and I'm like, okay, guys, I remembered my name last night while I was sleeping.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Yes, I don't know why it took so long. Apparently, I was traumatized before meeting you. I am Diana.
Good to meet you.
Lovely name.
Yeah, it's not ringing any bells, but okay.
That's okay. It's not ringing any bells with me either, so we're fine.
Feels somewhat familiar, but that could be everything.
We're all kind of in the same boat of knowing and yet not knowing, so...
It'll work out eventually.
Speaking of which, I don't know what we have, going on today, obviously, but I think it still might be a good idea possibly to do a bit more reading up on the Battle of Razakran and the demons and stuff like that, because I have some things I wanted to look up, but we also have, the magical items that we got and some extra money, and I mean, we don't know necessarily what else we should do here in case we're looking for more jobs, or like, would we want to leave town, or I don't know. What do you guys have you been thinking about this, or has it just been me up at night overthinking things like usual?
No, I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I think sticking together would be the best option. But I'm not particularly keen on going back into the wilderness permanently, so to speak. Just I like being with people. I like having nice hot meals. I like cute waiters. I prefer to have the little comforts if we're, starting from the ground up with our memories and everything.
Of course, we can check the job boards and stuff again, but I don't actually know what's around here, and if we learn more, maybe through some reading at the library, maybe that might give us a lead, but somewhere that's not here. I don't know. I have no clue what's going on. All I know is that there's this town. I don't know. I mean, maybe we won't go far because our graves were close to the town, and I don't necessarily want to leave right away either, but I think whatever's going on, we should be careful.
No, that's fair. I think knowledge right now is our best bet, especially with how much we lack. So
a few things.
So
that bandit camp wasn't too far either if that bulletin is still up.
No, that's fair. Probably a good idea to just figure out what our little trinkets do now that we have them.
Lights up, just kind of scoots closer.
We can go to the mate guild and have them identified.
No, that's fair. While you wanted to do research, Ovak, I feel a little bit jealous, honestly, seeing you and Diana doing these neat tricks, I'd like to pick up a couple of my own, but I'm not sure how long
Oh.
that would take.
Did you want me to try to teach you or something? I mean, I don't know what I could do, but
From what I can tell, I feel like I would do better with something closer to what Diana can do.
You
Maybe
could
something.
always make a pact with the demon. That worked well for me.
Or we could not pick up another rock collection.
let's.
I vote no on the demons. I think we had plenty of that yesterday also.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Speaking of demons, though, we should probably take those over to the leather worker.
Right, we still haven't.
Right.
We haven't got.
I'm not sure a common leather worker will be able to work with them. We may need some kind of a specialist.
Maybe
I
we
could
can
be
find
wrong.
an uncommon leather worker.
Ovark just writes all this down in a piece of paper, and he's just gonna hand them out to everybody so they have lists.
Well, I guess with all of the stuff considered, maybe a trip by the Mages Guild wouldn't be a bad idea.
At about this point in time, the orc comes back with both hands filled with the platters he holds on each hand are about 2 feet across, and each of them are filled with food. And he sits them down on the table and gives you all a huge grin and says, "Eat up and eat well. Hope you enjoy." And he gives the platter that has mostly sausage on it. Also has some bacon. He gives this a tap, and he gives who was the character?
Crane?
Crane?
Crane asked for it, but then I asked for the same order because I didn't pick up on the.
Crane is the
atmosphere.
hornball.
Okay, so yeah, he gives Crane a knowing grin and says, "See you later."
Sorry, you cut out a little bit. What was that?
Oh, he gives your character a grin, and then he says, "I'll see you later," and then he heads back into.
Z, you
Do
need
you know
Somebody's
him?
getting a booty call.
you need to fix your delay so that it lasts longer, because you keep cutting out.
Testing, 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 testing.
You're better now.
Do you know him, Crane?
Okay.
Oh, no, he's
Not
just
yet.
no, he's just delightful.
Oh, he seemed very friendly.
This town seems very friendly. I like
I'm
it.
going to start shoveling food in my face. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, food time.
Anyone who does eat the food finds that this food is very clearly very fresh, and it tastes really like whoever made this made it like 10 minutes ago.
You
Nice.
still need to fix your thing, because you're cutting out.
Okay, hold on.
That would be
I-
the Discord settings.
So I'm looking at.
The push to talk release delay, turn it up.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Yeah, this is like par for the course.
Roughly
Thank you for your patience.
roughly 300 milliseconds works for me. So
Oh, mine was at 76.
Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Yep. They'll probably be used to it by now.
yep. Anyway,
There we go. Testing, testing.
Seems
Yep.
good for now. Yeah.
Already. Anyways, the food is good. It's very clearly fresh. Anyone who eats it, you'll get a +1 to hit and to.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
A +1 to hit?
Yeah, +1 to hit for until the end of the next battle. That's how good this food is. It gives you a bonus.
Sick.
and
Alright.
suddenly we're eating World of Warcraft food.
So.
Hey, I'll
that's-
take it. Stat
okay,
bonus
so
food is good
that's-
food.
All right, so that's 6 silver. Cool. Good as always. Now, how about?
Mage's Guild?
Well, we can probably knock off a couple of things at the same time. So, Diana, you seem to be good with nature, even though this isn't really nature. Maybe you and Narthus could go to find the uncommon leatherworker for what we're hoping to do with that.
Sounds good.
And the rest of us could go to the Mage's Guild.
Krovar, do you feel like studying magic with us?
Yeah, sure. I'll tag along. I gotta
Alright.
figure out what the deal is with this shield anyway.
All right, lovely. Then,
Mhm.
how about where do we meet back? Should we meet back here, or maybe we can meet at the library?
I like that. I mean, obviously we don't have to, but I have quite a few things on my list here that I wanted to look up. There are a lot of things that I read that I wanted to get a little more clarification on if I could.
Hmm.
So
Well,
the plan is to meet up at the library afterwards.
yes. Maybe, maybe while we're going to the Mages Guild, we can stop by the bulletin board and see if the bandit campus job is still up.
Do you think that might be why the guards are patrolling?
I think that might be why. Also, we did just inform them of their fallen comrades within a cave.
That's true. We did do that.
So, probably a bit of both. Anyway, more to figure out later, I suppose. Shall we get going?
I mean, yeah, once we're done eating.
You'll see that Crane's plate is basically done.
Ovark eats very slowly. Partially because he's always, like, distracted by something else. Either his head's, like, in a book while he's eating or something.
Mm.
He gets done eventually, but
He's taking his sweet time.
Yep, his attention's usually pulled elsewhere. All right.
Diana is finished quite quickly because apparently she's still starving.
So by the time all of you do finish, where do you all decide to go?
Crane, Ovark, and Crovar all go to the bulletin board and then the Mages Guild. And then Nathis and Diana were going to get the demon corpses and then take them to the leatherworker, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I was transcribing her name. I just realized I didn't have that in my document.
No worries.
So where is?
So those who... Sorry, say that again.
Where is Mez right now, anyway?
You can't see him, but you can still feel him.
Okay, where is he? Is he nearby? Is he causing trouble?
Do you ask him?
Sure.
He tells you he's eating.
Oh joy. I'm just going to ignore that, and if he gets himself
Is someone
killed,
missing a cat?
Hopefully someone's not missing the cat.
Well,
anyway, let's go to the leatherworker.
I can promise you no cats or dogs were harmed in the making of this fantasy universe.
I'm gonna hold you to that in case you ever contradict yourself later.
They better not be.
Well,
I
no,
will
real
hold you
ones.
responsible.
No real ones, fine.
Okay, fine.
So, those who head over to the leatherworkers find that there is a very nice, very shiny, very new set of armor that's on display, but it's clearly marked not for sale. Nathis, you recognize it.
Really?
It's yours, yeah. The one that you had commissioned?
Oh.
That was over at the blacksmith. But...
Armorsmith.
The armor. Oh, I totally misremembered then. So, never mind, you don't see that. Did anyone actually commission anything from the leatherworker? Hold
No.
on.
I don't think so. No.
Mostly just bought
Crane-
But I'm getting ready
Yeah.
to.
yeah.
She
You
had.
were going to.
She had before, I thought, but
No, I hadn't. I just got something quick and available.
fair enough.
I miswrote that down then. I apologize. So
That's all
all of
right.
you head over to the leatherworkers, and you find it's fairly. Though there is someone who comes over and walks up to you. It's a new person from yesterday. It's a young human, and he looks kind of tired, but interested in seeing what you guys need. And he says, "Greetings. Welcome to the leatherworking shop. How can we help you today?"
Do you work with Demon Hide? Do you know how? they work?
What?
We're in need of a special hide worker that can work with rare materials.
Holy shit, demon hide. Where the fuck have you guys been? Excuse me, let me go get my boss. This is kind of unusual. And he heads off. And a few minutes later, he comes out with a much larger looking human who's a bit more burly and very much more muscled. And this guy kind of gives you a strange look and walks up and says, my son here says you have demon hide. Now, I
Well-
got a very serious question. Where the hell you got a hold of that?
We were attacked by some and killed them. They're very low power demons, but we have their corpses.
Oh, the whole corpse.
Yep.
Oh, okay then. So what did you want made out of this demon hide? And he sort of rubs his chin, gives you a probing look.
Well, let's have you inspect a material first, and you can tell us what can be made out of it.
All right. He waits for you to pull out all the corpses and kind of makes a disgusting face and rolls them over and inspects them for a little. He says, "Well, there's a few things I guess I can make out of this. I don't know. I'd have to cure the hide and get it stretched out and properly treated first. This is demon hide is not like normal stuff. It behaves differently."
Not to mention extremely hard to get because they usually disintegrate upon death, but hey, we got lucky.
Yeah. Like I said, it behaves differently. Here, I'll start processing these, and if you leave me, let's say 10 gold, I'll get these hides processed into usable material, and then when you get back, I can give you a catalog of things that can be made from what you've got here. But it's gonna take me a little bit to work this. Give me 2 days. Yeah, 2 days will do.
I hand over 2 platinum. I think that's all the platinum I have. And
We
yeah,
should
it's-
each have 20 platinum.
okay, well then I have 2 less platinum. And say, take your time, be gentle. I want as much out of this as we can actually manage.
Oh, okay. Then we'll come back in about 3 days. Then I'll still be able to get you the material, but well, like you said, I'll be working a little bit more carefully on it to make sure that nothing's wasted. And the bigger guy shoulders. He actually picks up all of the corpses and shoulders them, and then inspects the coins for a brief moment, seeming to be a little skeptical that these are in fact platinum. But once he finds out that they are, he gives you all a gruff nod and pats his son on the shoulder and walks back inside. And the younger guy is just sort of looking at you, baffled, like, demon hide. What?
I'm so glad.
Okay,
that
I was
is
wrong.
the-
We each have 4 platinum, 2 gold, and 48 silver.
How much platinum?
4 platinum, 2 gold, and 28.
48 silver. I wrote it down from last time.
Yeah,
Because I have 5 platinum.
no worries.
Well, that's going to be 3 days, so I guess we should go meet the others.
I'd like to stop at the armor, or at the blacksmith first. So,
Okay.
If all of you are done over here and heading over there, you find that out front of the blacksmithing shop is very proudly displayed a new set of armor that Nathis immediately recognizes. And it does, in fact, have a sign, like I mentioned before, that says, "Not for sale." It just seems to be being used as a advertisement opportunity,
fair enough.
because it is very well made.
I head inside.
Heading inside, you see the guy that you talked to before, and he gives you a bright grin after he takes a moment to recognize you, and he says, "Welcome back. I assume you saw your armor is all ready to go."
I assumed that was mine, so yeah.
Wonderful. Is there anything else I can get you while you're still here, or anything you want commissioned to be made for later, or?
What about the sword that was supposed to come with it?
He gives you an even bigger smile and holds up a finger and says, "Hold on a second. I want to We did a little something extra and special for you since you were such a good patron of ours. And he reaches behind him and he pulls out a rather beautiful-looking sword, but you notice it does have some interesting runes etched into the blade near the head. And he lays the blade on the table in front of him, and he gives you a nod and says, "All right, I had one of the kids in the shop who's been experimenting with rune work play around with this, and I think he did a pretty good job." And he picks up the blade by the blade and holds it handle first towards you and says, "Here, why don't you take a hold of this and give it a swing and tell me how it feels."
I take a hold of it, but first I look at the runes. What do I see? Should I do a check for this, or?
Yeah, go ahead and do a check. It's going to be... This will be a wisdom.
That's a 20.
Alrighty then, natural.
No.
Modified.
Modified
Dirty
20.
20.
Fair
Dirty
enough.
20. I keep forgetting that.
So, though you can't quite read the runes, you can get the feeling from them that they are abyss attuned, and they seem to be specifically designed to channel and direct that energy.
Huh, I wonder what made them decide to do it that way specifically. But, okay. I channel my demonic rage into it and give it a swing at the mannequin that formerly was holding my armor.
Oh no.
Alrighty then, roll me a d20, please.
Is this an attack
Roll the
roll
hit.
or?
Give me a d20.
That's an 8.
Okay. So you see the surface of the blade light up in a deep... Sorry about that. The cat decided my lap was the place to be right then and there.
Oh, that's fine.
Anyways, so the surface of the blade lights up in a deep, dull red, and you see it seems to vibrate and shimmer as you swing it. And while you swing it, it doesn't feel heavier or lighter, but you feel you have more control over it while you swing. And at the end of the swing, the blade seems to return to normal. It doesn't, however, feel as sturdy as it did when you first held it, but it still feels pretty damn solid.
Okay.
You also have 19 more charges, quote-unquote, left on the sword. Instead of the usual, whatever else.
7, but... Okay, one more thing. Dana, are you here with me?
Yes.
Okay.
I was looking at other things while you were swinging your sword around.
Anyway,
I swing my sword back and forth. I swing my sword back and forth.
I'm curious or talking to the blacksmith, I'm curious if you might be able to work with a woodworker and make the lady over here a nice silver inlaid semi-druidic staff.
Didn't she just get a staff from the magical item?
She got a staff from the tree.
I got the magic staff of plant growth.
Oh, well, never mind. I don't do that. Because you already have a druidic staff.
Yeah, but it only has so many charges, and once they're gone, it's just a stick.
I mean, you can channel more charges into it, right?
Maybe.
I mean, if she wants to, I guess.
I mean, it's plant growth, honestly.
Plant growth is a decent spell.
I wouldn't underestimate plant growth as a druid. In fact, that's
I know. I have plans for it. I'm going to be saving those charges.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean it has a bonus to hit or anything like that. It's just a stick that makes plants grow.
Just mystican it up and get a bunch of stabs for different purposes.
How about we?
Yeah, just have like a bag.
How about I not be carrying like a whole freaking bundle of stabs on my back around?
Yeah.
Okay?
How about then we go to the Fletcher and get you a few silver-tipped arrows just to make things better.
But like, why not though? Like, what's so wrong about just having a staff collection? Like,
You'd have no idea how heavy
A
one staff
and
is.
then a backup staff.
I mean, true, but you know,
It's your character and your inventory, but you know. I'm not
Yes,
saying
but
having
eventually I'll be
two staffs
encumbered
on
and
your-
be sitting there like, okay, well,
oh yeah.
I'll wait right here. Bring the monsters to me.
No need to restrict yourself too much though if you have room.
So yeah, how does that plan sound? Go to the Fletcher and get you some silvered arrows.
That sounds good. They could just rework some of the arrows I already have, honestly.
Just a reminder that I have mending, so if arrows break, I could probably fix them. So we could maybe save some money.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yep. I mean, I don't know.
That's why I always regather my arrows after fights.
So if you gather all the pieces of anything that you break, I can try to fix it with mending.
So for time's sake, let's say we go to the Fletcher, get her some arrows, and head for the library.
Alrighty then. That'll probably, since they're going to be silver tipped, they're gonna. The
It'll take
bundle
a
of arrows
day
is
or
gonna
so,
cost you a
maybe.
gold. No, they already have some in stock.
Oh, sweet. Well, I have a gold. I'll give them that.
The shopkeeper will inform you that there are people who try to hunt ghosts on the semi-regular, so they try to keep some of these silvered arrows and stuff. So heading over to the library now. What do you guys do?
You mean
All
us
right.
or the others? Because we were heading over to the guild and then to the library, right?
Oh yeah, we wanted to go to the Mages Guild first and then the
Yep.
library.
Yeah. One
All
thing
right,
I do want to
so-
bring up really quickly, sorry, is while we're walking there, I'm just going to turn to Crane and Clover really quickly and go, okay, I know obviously we can do more shopping today, but there are a few things I think that might be good for us to get, like bags, like, you know, because we didn't have those when we were, you know, fighting the spiders and we had to carry stuff, so we had like use the chests and stuff, and that was really inconvenient. So having like bags and maybe things like if we need them, rations when we leave, if we
Okay.
leave. So I'm gonna get gloves because I don't want to touch any more magical items with my bare hands.
Well, That's fair. Priscilla was nice enough to get me a bag when I sealed the deal for him. So
Oh right, he did. Okay, so one of us has a bag. I still think it'd be good to have maybe one more person though.
A single bag.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll do the whole group right.
no,
I think
that's
it might be good.
no, that's fair. We should probably get more than one bag.
I should probably get an instrument too. It's been a while since I've been able to use anything. It's been just my voice.
You were usually one to play the lute or something like that, right? So
Yeah, I mean, usually a lot of it is just my voice, but sometimes it's nice to have a bit of an instrument to help out.
no, that helps focus, right? Crowbar, do you mind if we do that quick little shopping then?
Go ahead.
It shouldn't
All
take
right.
long. I know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go in and get out.
For the sake of brevity, could we say that we can get gloves and nice instrument?
And
Sure
a bag.
thing.
I like the gloves edition.
What?
Well, and maybe a backpack as well.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, I don't have gloves, and I can't pick up, like, magic items. Like,
That's why I'm saying. That's why I like the edition.
12 gold, because the instrument is not going to run cheap.
all right. So, 12 gold, you said?
Yeah, about 12 gold.
Perfect. That's all my gold.
Oh, wow, really?
Well, I have some platinum and some silver, but, like, just in terms of the gold pieces I have on me right now, that's just, like, a perfect, like, 12 gone.
Yeah.
So time to write down. I have a lute and gloves
And indeed, this loot is indeed fat.
and a bag.
Fat loot.
Thick.
All right. Is there a
No, no,
mages-
no, no, no. This is not a thick loot. This is a fat loot. It has nice, deep base.
Well, deep.
No, I'm just joking. It's whatever tune you want. I'm just fucking with you.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I don't know much about instruments, so I'll just say whatever makes it sound nicest.
Depending on what voice Ovark has, but yeah.
I'd imagine it's probably something lower because I don't have a high pitched voice.
Yeah, so probably like a tenor or closer to baritone. Maybe not bass, but
Yep.
uh
Times like this, I wish I like had some musical knowledge so I could maybe like do like a song or something. But I also have embarrassment, so I would never actually sing. So
it's fine. That's what headcanon voices are for. Anyway, would Crane be able to ask around for where Mage's Guild might be?
You are able to, and one of the commoners just gives you a strange look and then points to the giant tower that's sort of sticking up out of the city and says, "Is right over there."
Right, fantastic. Do keep brushing your teeth. You're doing quite a great job, and he's just gonna keep going.
Wow.
Wow, rude.
wow. I'm just.
Well,
I'm
I mean-
leaving.
You know that guy doesn't understand a single word the orc said.
Well, yeah,
And in
there's
fact,
that.
the guy looks back at you after you mentioned the teeth brushing thing. He says, "Oh, fuck you, mate! I do all want."
I'm gonna just like slink back over towards.
You
like,
wish you
Crowbar.
could.
Oh God! All
Oh,
right,
God. I'm just gonna hide behind Crowbar.
I'm just pushing Crane towards the tower,
Oh no, he's moving.
I'm
You're
still
moving
hiding
and being
behind.
pushed.
and
because
we're
you're-
moving faster.
I'm still hiding behind Crowbar. I don't care.
All
So
right,
you're
so
going. Yeah.
heading to the mage tower, you find that it's filled with elves. Like, this seems to be where most of the elves in the city are congregating. And there are elves of all kinds here, but mostly this seems to be just high elves.
Mm.
And as you get close, one of them sort of gives you a look and immediately pipes up and says, "Excuse me, are you lost?"
No, we actually made our way here. Hello, my name is Crane. This is Ovark and Krovar. We are here to hopefully get some magical items appraised, as well as perhaps do a little bit of studying while we're here.
Studying. Truly.
Do you guys have any libraries here, or any archives we could look through, or
Well, I don't know if we have any libraries of the subjects that your sort would be interested in, but I suppose you could be allowed to peruse around. And the elf sort of slowly stands up and brushes off his immaculate robes and, swings his hair and gestures inside and says, "Come and follow me. Just don't
Alright.
touch anything."
I won't. I just put my like hands at my side, like very proper.
How many potted plants are in this place?
There are over 3 dozen.
Oh
Good.
wow.
How many
a lot of-
ficuses are there?
What's a
I
ficus?
don't know that species, but some of them are floating, some of them are on the ground, some of them seem to be at very strange places, but
Wait.
it seems to be a very green place. It's a very lively place.
Did you say floating?
Floating.
Floating,
Yeah.
as in it's
Floating
suspended
potted
by magic.
plants. Yeah.
Okay.
So you pass by several groups of elves who give you very strange looks as to like, why are these people here and what's going on? It's very clear that your presence is very obviously noted because everyone in here is wearing flowing robes and are carrying at least one. And all of you are very obviously not wearing robes of any kind and not carrying even. Well, actually, are any of you openly carrying a book?
Well,
I'm always
Ovark
carrying
is
books.
Ovark is carrying books, and Ovark
Wow.
is probably the closest thing to robes.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Yeah.
actually, Ovark is the only one who doesn't get strange looks.
I'm still kind of a little bit nervous though, kind of looking around because I
It's
still
fine.
feel.
I don't
Yeah.
care. If they piss me off, I'm pissing in one of these pots.
Crane, Crane is just responding with like winks and smiles at the strange looks.
Mm.
Alrighty then.
Ovark's just like trying to be like, oh god. Just keep going. Just keep walking. That's gonna be fun.
So as you move in, the elf leads you to a room with that seems to be a library in and of itself, but the books on the shelves is something he's not paying attention to, and instead moves toward the raised dais or little platform in the middle of the room. It's a very circular room, and this dais or this little platform thing seems to be the focus of it. And he gracefully gestures to the dais and says, "Go ahead and place the items here."
Crane is going to be careful not to touch them directly, and uses his shirt and places the 2 daggers on the dais.
What kind of magic is this?
The elf kind of gives you a look for a moment, and then turns his attention to the daggers. And he leans over and starts murmuring magic words and making a few gestures. One of the words seemed to cause the dagger that shocked you before to crackle its electrical energy against the stone that it was resting on, and the elf sort of looks surprised and says, how about that? We haven't seen one of these in a while.
Hmm?
He says another magic word, and the other dagger... Actually, hold on, what was the one?
The other
That was
one,
the nap time knife.
the one, yeah, the one that
Yep.
put Ovark to sleep.
Yep. I'm just gonna crack open my book and start like getting ready to take notes.
All right, he again, his fingers come very close to these items, but they don't ever actually directly touch. And he does make more gestures over the second dagger. And this one seems to have a pulse of... You can only describe it as anti-light. It's sort of like what would happen if someone shone a light that was made of darkness on the stone, and that just sort of pulsed outward from this dagger. And the elf kind of looks extremely surprised, and he says, "Oh wow, this is rare."
I have a question. While he's doing this, can I just watch what he's doing to kind of study what he's doing with the magic?
You can. Roll me a d20, please, or 3 of them.
Magical knowledge check or no?
No,
Well,
just
you're,
roll 3 d20s, please.
you're studying someone casting a spell.
Okay, because I was just looking at him. I didn't actually want to cast anything.
Well, no, but you still have a chance of learning what he's doing, and you may be able to replicate it later.
Okay.
Does the +1 until the end of the next battle happen here? Or is that only 2 attack rolls?
That's only 2 attack rolls.
Got it.
It's because of what was put in your book.
Oh, those are really bad rolls. A natural 1, a 6, and a 3. Oh my god.
Alrighty then, you are
Apparently, he was looking at the
extremely
potted plant.
confident.
Yep.
You are extremely confident that you have managed to transcribe everything he did perfectly.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I'm gonna keep writing down, though, if he explains when he starts to say like this is what the item is. Though I'm gonna have my book ready.
Okay. So he casts a few more spells and seems to manipulate them a bit more. A couple of times he actually lifts them in the air with some sort of telekinesis, because he doesn't touch them, but they still glide up into the air and in front of his face. And after playing around with the daggers essentially a little bit more, he rests them on the stone and looks to you and gives you a nod and says, "Alrighty then, it appears that you have a dagger of rolling thunders and a dagger of eternal solitude."
A dagger of eternal solitude?
Yes. He gestures to the dagger. This one seems to have an effect of causing the mind to inverse on itself. It's an exceptionally wicked tool to be using against casters. But
Oh.
Wait, was that the one that I touched?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's an anti-mage dagger.
No
It
wonder
basically
it
makes
fucked
you
me
drop
up.
concentration, yeah.
I mean, I fainted straight up, so wow.
he kind of gives you a strange look and says, "You didn't touch that, did you?"
Yeah.
He was a little bit eager.
Sure did.
Oh my goodness. Well, alrighty then. It's amazing that you don't have any brain.
What? Wait. I just look over at Crane. Do I have brain damage?
I
The elf
mean,
kind of gives you a condescending look and says, "Well, anyways." And he turns to the other dagger instead now and says, "Well, this dagger has a tendency of causing electrical arcings, and if you manage to channel it correctly, you can cause a full thunderstorm in the area. Though that's kind of discouraged, especially around the farmers' areas. So if you do decide to bring a thunderstorm, please only do so inside the city limits, at the behest of any of the our farmers, because we do have good relations with them."
Oh, certainly. I wouldn't want to stir things up any more than they should. Out of curiosity, would you say that it is safe for me to use either or both of them, or would it be best to perhaps focus on one rather than the other?
The mage just sort of looks at you and blinks and says, "Use them for what?"
Well, my friends and I are adventurers. We do travel around a bit, so it's
Oh,
only.
oh, that explains your ridiculous attire. Okay then. And the elf just sort of smiles politely at you and says, "Well, in that case, I suppose I would only hold one of them at a time if I were honestly offering advice. Though I think these should actually be put in the well, actually, yes. I think I have the authority to do that. I would like to purchase these from you if you don't want to hold on to them, because these could be wonderful points of study for our enchanters."
Quick question, DM. Not to interrupt. Did I technically already get the Wand of Magic Missiles appraised, or would I still have to do that?
I think one of you already identified it, didn't you?
I think I made a check, but
Yeah, Ovark was
okay.
Ovark was able to identify the wand of magic.
Wand of magic missiles, yeah.
Okay, because I was going
You
to
can
ask.
have this person try to identify it as well if you want, but you've already
Well,
identified it. I think.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just wanted to check.
How about this? I would like to keep the dagger of Rolling Thunder. However, I am willing to part with the dagger of Eternal Solitude for your research if I'm able to successfully learn at least one spell from your collection.
The elf almost looks like he's trying to hold back, laughing, but straightens his face for a moment and says, "Well, I don't know about our ability to teach someone such as yourself, but I suppose we can get one of our more venerated and experienced teachers to see if they can make an attempt."
If you look a little bit more closely, you would think that my mother would be a bit more reliable with my ability to learn.
And the elf kind of gives you a look, and he looks from your feet to the top of your head twice, and then nods once and says, "Well, I'll grab one of our more venerated teachers to see what they can do with all of that." And the high elf sort of gives you all a smile and walks out of the room and says, "I'll be back in a few."
Well, this place is lovely, isn't it?
Mm,
I'm just gonna go ahead and set my shield down on the dais for whenever they get back.
I was hoping this would be more fun, but they're kind of
Dicks.
uncomfortable.
Well, they're elves, so yeah.
Not
they're
even
dicks.
there.
Don't
I'm
feel
just
too
saying.
don't feel too bad, Ovark. It probably wouldn't have even been that much better if Nathas or Diana were here.
I know. And I'm just worried. I mean, how do I know I don't have brain damage? I mean,
You
I
don't
can't-
have brain damage.
You don't have brain damage.
Okay, I mean,
Trying to worry about it will give you brain damage. How about that?
That guy comes back in here and makes one more backhanded comment. I'm punching him in the face.
No, don't. I don't think we should get into a fight.
How
You
about
think we shouldn't get in a fight? I'm itching to get into a fight.
Mm,
save it for just take it out on the bandits? They probably deserve it.
I mean,
All right, so the
wanna
one
go.
elf comes back with another elf, but the second elf has very deep, dark charcoal gray skin and ruby red eye. And the second elf kind of gives the first one a look and says, "I thought you said they were like ogres." And the high elf kind of gives her a look and says, "Well, you know." And she just gives him a look like, "What the fuck?" And gesture like shoos him out of the room and gives you all a look and says, "Well, greetings and welcome. Sorry for him. He's I want to say he's on his period, but he's And she just shakes her head and says, "Anyways, how can I help you?"
Yes, nice to meet you. There is a little bit more appraisal to occur before the deal was struck, but aside from the identification of this sword and shield, I would like to strike a deal of granting this eternal solitude for your study if I'm able to learn some magic here.
Alrighty then. She nods and looks over the sword and shield, and then looks back at you and says, "Well, what sort of spell would you like to learn?"
Well, preferably either something that can be used to control water or something that might help in transforming myself or others temporarily.
She kind of gives you a strange look, and She holds one single finger, her index finger, in front of you, facing toward you, and utters a single word. And roll me a d20.
Okay.
Your character is the one with the. Hold on. I keep losing these damn documents, but
I have
your
it.
character. You
Sorry,
have
go
one.
ahead.
What I was trying to ask you is your character is the one with the sea tattoos, right? Or the
Yes.
blue tattoos and the glowing. Okay. So roll me a d20, please. No modifiers.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I probably should have somebody ask about the tattoo on the back of my neck. By the way, has anybody brought that up? Because I can't see the back of my own neck, so I probably don't remember it's there.
Crane has a tattoo. He didn't really think much of it.
I mean, I can't see the back of my own neck, so if somebody brought up, like, hey, you got a tattoo on the back of your neck, I'd probably be like, oh, I do?
That's 6.
You rolled a 6. Okay. You feel a icy cold chill rush over your entire body, but it doesn't feel comfortable. In fact, it feels rather refreshing. And a frosty wave rolls over the rest of you as the entire room is visibly chilled by approximately 20 degrees. And now the dark elf looks extremely shocked and says, "Are you sure you need any instruction when it comes to magic, especially water magic?"
I'm afraid I need to brush up a little bit. I've forgotten a bit.
She gives you a look and says, "Well, if you're sure, you seem rather adept at it. At least your body's channels are very well set up to manipulate." She gestures at the sword and shield and says, "Oh, those are magical a sword and shield. It's they seem to be enchanted rather simply. They're not fully magical per se, but they hold on. Okay, everything I wrote last.
It wasn't a
last week.
sword and shield. It was just that shield.
Oh, it was just the shield?
Yeah, my
Just
sword
the
is
shield.
just a basic mithril greatsword. There's no
I thought that there was a sword that was on the ground that was also magical.
There is a sword. There is a sword.
Oh,
There
there
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it was inside the spider.
There was a sword, there was a shield, there were 2 daggers, a staff, and the orb. But
Ha! I remembered correctly. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought I wrote this down somewhere, and if I did, it didn't save. So I don't have the original thing for the sword and shield. So I'm coming up with it.
No worries.
I know the shield was as heavy as a tower shield. Other than that,
Yeah.
Wait, who was the one who touched the shield?
I did.
Crowbar.
Okay, that's why. It was heavy to him as a tower shield. And I think I remember one of the attributes of that shield, so give me a sec.
Ovark's just gonna write down as much as he can.
I know I'm in the. I'm going to.
No, no.
I'm writing something down as of right now to send to you. That basically describes the shield in a better way than.
I mean, Crane just pulled an Elsa, so you know.
Oh yeah, I am
Feel, don't
super not
feel.
okay with that. By the way.
I didn't think you would be.
Oh no, super not okay.
Why are you not okay with it?
Well, the entire temperature of the room just dropped 20 degrees, so A,
Oh,
uncomfortable.
Right.
My
you're,
predisposition to magic as it is.
you're a heat boy.
He
You
is
like the warmth.
He is a fiery boy.
Yep, he likes warm.
Fiery boy. Oh my goodness.
That was one thing I did want to bring up really quickly when we have the chant Zeleth is the Wand of Magic Missiles. I just wanted to check with you to make sure I had it right.
Just a moment.
Yeah, obviously you're busy, so I don't want to stop you. Because I think I have it, but I had like written it down.
just a second.
Like I listened, but I tend to sometimes mislisten. So like I have
It
trouble.
happens.
I'm not an
No worries.
auditory learner. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. So I'm just trying to make sure I have it right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, though.
All right, so just suffice to say that sword and shield are magical for now until I can define them things. And
Yeah, that's fine.
she looks to Ovark. There we go. She looks to Ovark and nods and sits down next to the dais and gestures for you to sit down as well. And she opens her palms and faces them up and rests them on her knees. And she says, "All right, I want you to do exactly as I."
Oh,
Is she teaching Ovark or is she teaching Crane?
I'm sorry, Crane.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, are we both getting lessons? I mean, I'm not objecting, but
Well, if you well, it depends on who asks for lessons. But right now, she's trying to teach Crane. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
no worries.
it's all good.
Crane will get down into the same meditative pose.
All right. Well, it's not quite a meditative pose, but yeah. She then brings her fingers into a semi-complex motion, but basically, she brings her middle finger and her thumb tip together, and then holds them up, and then she instructs you to focus your will and imagine water flowing up as if if your arm was not there, you imagine that water would be flowing where your arm would be.
Uh,
And then she makes a motion that sort of thrusts forward, almost like a crashing wave.
Crane is gonna try and avoid pointing it at her, and he's gonna do it, and he's just gonna, kind of physically draw across his tattooed arm up towards his fingertips and cast outward.
All right, roll me a d20, please.
It's on Discord, by the way.
16?
Alrighty then. You see about a gallon of water sort of rush forward and splash on the heartstone. And she looks surprised but nods and says, "Well, that's exactly. You seem to be, like I said before, you seem to be natural at it." And she casts a quick spell which freezes the water, and then she takes the ice crystals and then seems to bring them up into a magical construct which sort of walks out of the.
Oh, all right then. Again, just brushing things up a bit, but this has certainly been enlightening. Hopefully I can figure out more of what I can do with this. I don't know. Practice makes perfect, I suppose. Do you mind if I come back here again to ask you more?
She shrugs her shoulders and says, "Well, anyone who's seeking magical study or knowledge is welcome here. It's just some people sort of look down on others because of lack of perceived skill." She makes a pointed look at the door where the one elf was, and she says, "Despite that, please don't feel discouraged to come here for any reason. This is open to the public."
Oh, certainly. Thank you.
I'm just gonna go over. I have a question. If that's okay.
She nods.
Do you guys, by any chance, would you know or be able to point me in the direction of any books or instructors that might possibly teach me stuff like rune magic or like enchanting weapons or armor? Because my friends, a lot of them like to use, physical equipment, and sometimes I feel like it would be nice perhaps to help them out with that, maybe through the usage of like runes or glyphs, or I don't know how things work exactly. I'm kind of new to this sort of stuff.
She nods and says, "Well, there's several different layers of magical enchantment you can do onto an item. Eventually, though, you will get to the point where the weapon or the item in question becomes sentient. And that sort of magical enchantment requires a lot of investment, a lot of time, and a whole lot of magical prowess, focused in one specific direction in the item. Now, if you're only looking to temporarily enhance weapons with a little bit of magic here and there, that's a relatively simple thing that can be taught by a good number of professors, including myself. I'm also adept at inscribing runes into items to further enhance them, which bleeds onto the edges of creating fully what we call full magical items. And she gestures up vaguely upward and says, "My personal instructor is also one of the few individuals in the tower that can actually make fully fledged magical items, but he doesn't do it very often because it's a huge investment, like I mentioned before."
Must take a lot out of him.
Could I just quickly, I just like pop up my book. Could I get your name? That
Yes.
sounds.
It would be nice to know your name.
I just want to make sure that if I come back, that I can get in contact with the right people, if that's okay.
One moment, pulling up the name.
Her name. We forgot her name.
She nods to you and says, "My name is Everada.
Everada?
Erada.
Arada.
Good to meet you. Thank you.
She bows her head and nods and looks at the group and says, "Is there anything else I can help you with?"
This has been quite enlightening. Grover?
I just have one question. Did your lessons cost money? Would visiting again cost money?
Well, depends on what you want lessons in. She gestures toward the dagger and says, "Things like exchanges are fairly common depending on what sort of information and knowledge you're looking for. If you're looking for some of the more, shall we say, dangerous lessons, like how to generate massive fireballs or rip people's souls out, those will definitely cost you a good deal of money because that's sort of a questionable content that's kind of hard to justify.
Yeah.
And some things we just simply won't teach. We'll make you learn that yourself."
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry for all the questions.
She shakes her head and says, "This place is built for questions, so don't apologize."
I mean, that one elf probably wouldn't, didn't give me that kind of sense, but yeah.
Well, she nods and says, "Well, he's a fucking idiot."
He's not nice. I don't like him.
She nods and says, "Well, there's only like 4 people who like them and like him, and they are basically circled."
They need better friends.
Crane's gonna get up and kind of gesture towards the dagger. So, you fulfilled your part of the bargain. Feel free to collect that dagger as part of your research material.
Now she glances over the dagger and says, "Oh, yeah, that's right." And she reaches up her hand and snaps her finger, and the dagger disappears from your. And then she looks back at you and says, "Anything else?"
I'm gonna strap my shield back onto my arm. Do you guys have a in-house historian? I guess would be the best thing we're looking.
Well, we have a few people who are fairly well versed in history, but I don't think we have a historian proper. If you want one of those, you should probably go visit the library.
Right. How about anybody who is working on a thesis for, say, the Battle of Razakran?
Oh, Razakran. I don't think we have anyone who made any new theses. I mean, there was one that was written 100 years ago, but that was like, I think that's the most recent one. Razakran happened forever ago.
250 years.
You're not
Are
trying
you
to
familiar
summon
with it?
Razakran, are you?
Oh, not at all.
Sorry, what was the question?
Are you familiar with that theory?
What theory?
The theory you just.
The thesis?
Yes.
Oh, it was written? No, I'm not familiar with it personally, but I mean, I do know a little bit about Razakran and the kind of demon that it.
Oh, Razakran was the demon. Okay.
Ooh, hold on, that's his name? Okay. This is good info.
She nods and says, "Yeah, the Razakran was the demon that the champions defeated."
Right. Oh, here's a quick question out of curiosity. I heard about how the heroes, the champions, they fell in the battle, and there was some sort of like way of sealing them away of sorts. What kind of magic would be done to do that?
Oh, she sort of shakes her head and says, those are something but the druids and priests that did a long time ago. It was She sort of looks exasperated, then snaps her finger again, and a book literally pops into air about a foot above her hand, to which she opens, catches it, and then flips the pages She looks frustrated for a moment, snaps her fingers again. That book disappears and repeats the process with 2 other books before she seems to find what she's looking for. And then she's like, aha, there we go. Sorry about that, I'm looking for something.
No worries.
It seems to be that they were inducing a specific type of Dredaic protection and amplification using the champion's souls as a focus, and that made it so no demons could manipulate or infect the area within 1,000 miles, or about that. And she pulls the book around so you guys can see it, and you see something that looks really, really familiar. It is a perfect diagram of the magical lines, as well as some things you didn't see before, of where you were resurrected, including all of the the shapes of the flowers that were in zones, and everything's there that you saw, as well as those who know anything about magical knowledge. You guys can see there are also ley lines passing through this area.
Oh.
One other.
Can I ask what ley lines are?
Are you asking her, or are you asking the GM?
Can I do a check for that? Like, is there anything I wouldn't know about them already, or?
There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about them, so yeah, go ahead and do a roll.
Magical knowledge check. Intelligence?
Yep.
Alright. That's 26.
Was that a natural 19?
That was a natural 16.
16.
But my intelligence is a 4, and my magical knowledge is a 4, and I'm level 2.
Alrighty then. So you know that ley lines are channels of pure magic that run through the world in and of itself. And a lot of magical scholars draw a connection to the lifeblood of a person to the lifeblood of the planet, and that's what ley lines are. At least that's what the hypothesis. And basically, these ley lines are used as literal rivers of power that can be used, and places like mage towers are always at a convergence of 2 or more ley lines. And from the diagram you see on this chart, there are 6 ley lines running through where you guys were buried. So, to put things into perspective from what your character can remember, it is rare to find a place that has 3 or more ley line connections. In fact, it's usually common just to find a ley line running through an area, and fairly rare to find a ley line that crosses another period.
Okay, thank you. I'm just writing that all down. I'm just going to have a moment where I go, oh, ley lines! That's right! I'm just going to immediately flip through my book again, and I go, oh, I have to go to the library soon and read something.
But this is...
I have a theory. I have a theory.
This is very helpful, Arada. Thank you. One last thing about that sort of ritual that would have happened. What would happen, say, if the kind of protective measures that were made were to, say, stop or do something to change the bodies from being dead?
She sort of gives you a look and thinks for a moment and says, well, because of the nature of the spell that was used, it would be impossible for anyone to use any of the bodies for any necromantic rituals. The spell would rebound and cause the body of the user to disintegrate into ash. So anyone who's trying to dare mess with the champions in that way would be utterly annihilated. Whoever made this spell up, and she taps the book, was extremely thorough with that. They didn't want them to be resurrected like that at all. So it's physically impossible. And she just shakes her head and says there'd be absolutely no way that the champions could be, no necromancer ever could use them.
All right. So maybe not necromancy, but what about regular resurrection?
She sort of blinks and looks at you and says, I don't know of any spell that would be able to resurrect someone that's been dead for 250 years. You would have to bargain with death itself, which she sort of looks around and says, we have all of 2 pages of people who have ever tried to bargain with death. And, well, suffice it to say, it's not a reliable way to get things done.
Oh, certainly. Sorry for all the questions. Just very. I like stories.
She nods and says, "Yeah, we all do here."
Me too.
Do you know who wrote that spell?
She looks at the book and says, no, we don't. We know it was a compilation between at least 4 priests and 6 druids, so it's probably all of them.
Does
They're
it?
all dead now, though, so at least we think they are.
Right. Does it say whatever what dedications the priests followed, such as the gods, which gods were involved, that sort of thing?
The mage sort of looks surprised, reads the book and flips a few pages, and then says, evidently the priests were dedicated to the champions. There was only one of them that was directly dedicated to God in and of themselves, and that seems to be death. And she holds up a finger and says, well, Almros, if you want to use his proper name.
Right. Well, this has been very enlightening. Thank you again for the tutoring. Hopefully I can come back later.
If you guys have any more stories to tell, then I'd like to stop by again. I always like getting to listen to stuff, and I'm just continuing to write things down in my book.
She gestures to basically the entirety of the tower and says, well, you're welcome here anytime. And just ignore some of the other elves if they pretend that they're better than you. Just sort of smile at them, and that'll piss them off.
Okay.
We'll just... Oh, I've already been smiling at all of them. That's probably why they don't like me.
She smiles at you brightly and says, yeah, they don't like me very much either, but I'm higher up on the ladder than they are, and I know more than they do, so they can suck it up.
I like you.
One last question. Do you know if there's any documented survivors of the war?
She blinks and nods and says, well, yeah, several of the other elven kind, like myself, and I think a couple of the dragons have survived it. I think that she actually opens the book that she just had in her hand and flips through the pages. I think one of these druids may be alive, and maybe that priest, but they're not here, so you'd have to travel pretty far to find either one of them.
Could we get their names?
Or any location of where they were probably last seen going to after the war?
Both.
She points to the book and says, well, this priest is... let me find the name, or I'll just make one screen. I'm going to post it into Discord chat, the name.
Lore!
Thank you. I have so much stuff in my Google Docs. I'm just frantically typing.
I'm excited for this lore dump.
I mean, it might just be a name. It might not be a lore dump.
No, just like all the information we're getting. I like it.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to keep all of it straight, so I might have to check later to make sure I got it all right. I think I'm getting most of it. At this point, I should probably just, share the document. That'll probably help us all.
It might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I'd just be embarrassed now, because then I'd be like, okay, I have to keep the right notes, otherwise I'm going to get called out.
Or you could let everybody edit it, and it could be a group document.
That is true. I'm going to have to probably do that. I mean, I organize things weird, so y'all will probably get annoyed with me real quick.
Nah. Besides, we can, work it out in different sectors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thank you, audience, for being patient with us about all this. We're just very excited.
Yeah.
Are we done deep
a name.
vaults?
All right. Time to add it to my list of people. I need to make a
people to track down.
People to track down. I need to make a list of actual just important NPCs because I keep putting them under locations or something. So maybe that'll help if I have a people list and a location list and so. Yes, Quillen, we know. Arcane elves, not high elves.
Oh, she's an arcane elf. Okay.
Yeah, he's keeping us straight. They.
High Elven. Okay.
Oh no,
Arcane
I just mean
Elven.
Quillen. Quillen's just keeping all the names straight.
Okay. Arcane Elven Priest. Out of curiosity, is the elf that we're speaking to right now, Arada, is she infernal or is she arcane as well?
The one in front of you is a shadow elf.
Yeah,
Oh.
he said she had dark skin when she walked.
Well, I didn't know what yeah. I didn't
Sorry, I
know.
was not
No
proper
worries.
in using the
Well, it's all good.
vernacular.
Sometimes
It's all
you know
good.
things just fly over our heads and we miss it. I know it happens with me a lot. So it's all
Arcane
good.
elves are actually supposed to have skin about the same color as cayenne pepper. And
Oh.
shades
Oh.
thereof.
Neat.
Pepper elves,
And then infernal elves.
hot spicy boys.
Infernal elves and arcane elves are different, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
Infernal
different.
elves are abyss tainted elves, essentially. But not to the point of being like abyss touched.
Like tieflings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then arcane elves are highly magical, shadow elves are in touch with the void, and wood elves are obvious, so.
Yeah.
They are hippies. Dirty, filthy hippies.
Oh my god.
Pot smoking hippies. Running around, fucking with animals, tugging trees.
I mean, they'd probably be welcome in Canada.
Yeah, no.
Good God.
I mean,
I'm Canadian, I can say that.
honestly, where I live, it's not too different. It's a lot of those kinds of
What if
people
they're
too.
fucking with trees and hugging animals?
As long as they're doing it in the national park and nowhere else.
Dendrophilia.
Also-
It's like necrophilia, but with trees.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes, it is a thing.
It
Oh
really is a
god!
thing.
Everything is a
What's the
thing.
fuck a tree?
Oh,
That is
the
a good-
list.
Dirty
That,
I don't
that
wanna
sort
know.
of question
No,
is
no,
also
no,
reserved for the people who fuck with tile,
Don't.
like floor tiles. That's a thing.
No, okay. I want to ask why, but I also know that I don't want to know the truth.
You don't know, don't
You
ask.
don't want to.
That's
know.
cursed. That is cursed.
So we're moving on now.
I'm
Yep.
gonna look it up
So
later
yeah,
anyway.
she gives you those two names. This is Awaten Deepvolt, an arcane priest that evidently is probably still alive over at this priory. Then there is
Shaidada.
Shadadar, Raybadge, I'm sorry. And this is the wood elven druid that's not famous, but he's really good at what he does, and is probably found over here near the Sajid land. And she points to a map and lets you know.
Sajiba.
The Sajid lands.
Oh, the Sajit. Oh,
Mhm.
Sajit lands. Okay.
The lizard people. It's a Jeep.
The Sajid are the lizard people with the mohawk sort of feather crest that they have, and the glowing eyes.
Yeah, the hypno magic.
Mm-hmm.
Hypno lizard.
All hail the glory of the hypno toad.
It's like session. What is this? Number 3 or 4? It's like session 4. Lore dump. The session.
It's fun.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, I can't really think of anything else to ask, so after, making mental notes.
Anything I'd want to ask, I'd probably want to research more in the library because they probably might not know it all. Like, for instance, looking more into who Razakran is, or who this priest and this druid might be, where they might currently have gone, stuff like that.
Are you going to ask them, or are you going to assume and just head off?
Well,
We can ask, but we already asked if they knew where they were, and they said no. So
we got general locations, which is already
You
pretty
didn't
good.
ask about Razakran, though.
not true.
I feel like asking the location of a demon might be kind of
So
weird.
wait, did we get the general locations? Did I totally miss that?
We got the general locations of the elven druid and priest.
Whoops.
The location of the druid is somewhere near the Sajit lands. She pointed to, sort of vaguely on the map, so you didn't
Okay.
get an exact location. And the location of the prior where she believes the priest to be is almost on the exact opposite direction on the map. Hold on, where is that map? Hold on.
The
Sorry,
map is-
I know I totally missed that. I'm just trying to type out on all the things, and I think I missed a few things. I whiffed.
The map is on Roll20, but I can throw it up in the lore chat.
It's all good. Um,
Which is Sajit lands? Is that the...
It's west and north of where you are. Mostly north, I think.
Okay, is it the blue chunk of land? Or is that...
Hold on.
Because if it's in the opposite direction... I'm just asking if it's like past the strip of forest.
I can't see what you're looking at, so I cannot say.
Oh,
Yeah, he's not in the Roll20 session.
right.
That website does not like
I
me.
cannot find the map on the computer.
it's okay. We can
Well,
figure it
yeah.
out later.
We can get in it later.
I just found it on
Um,
Discord, though, so I'm going to repost it.
Okay. Well, maybe we can show the viewers the map as well, just so that they have an idea.
There we go. Okay, so
Oh, they have labels. Okay, so that is Sajit land over there.
Yeah, you said that. Okay, Sajit land. Yeah, and you said a prior in the opposite direction.
near the Syrvi, or it's in Syrvi, the one the pinkish land off to the east.
Oh,
Oh.
near
So-
Serbi.
All
That's
the way
where
over there.
the one priest is, and the druid. She pointed sort of vaguely around, a little bit past the forest that move into Sajit land, on the sort of southern chunk of it, not the upper chunk that is sort of a peninsula that reaches out into the water.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I had to make sure I got the info.
So, considering where you guys are right now, you're much closer to the druid than you are to the priest.
Mhm.
From the information that this one student or person gave you.
Right.
Well, this has been a wonderful day for learning. Hopefully we can see you again, Rada. We probably should be getting back to meet with our friends now.
Oh, yeah, we don't keep him too long. That'd be rude.
She gives you all a nod and snaps the book closed in her hand, and, well, I wish you well then. I hope to see you sometimes.
Yes, do take care. And Crane is going to give like a small bow and make his way out of the room.
Alrighty. And in regards to the sword and the shield is heavier to people who are not good for its attunement. And its attunement is specifically for protection and defensive magics. It's not fully sentient yet as a magical object, but it is still fairly powerful. She did let you know that there are magical runes on it that help with the protective aspect, so anyone who wears it gains another AC level.
Oh,
Okay.
Neato.
As for the sword, I'm going to say that then that one is a fully fledged magical object. And that one has the effect of... Give me a moment. How do I describe this?
With words.
Yes, with words, preferably. Things that can be articulated so the ideas can transfer from one mind to another.
Since we haven't quite hit the point of mind meld yet, but
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be
patches
so
on the
cool.
way.
Patches on the way.
That's for the human patch 3.0. Too bad we're only at 1.0.
Be there soon,
Womp,
hopefully.
I thought we were still in beta.
I thought we were still
No,
in
we got out of
alpha.
beta back in like 10,000 BC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's back when we just recently got rid of the body hair patch that was reduced by like 80%. So we're not.
Bit of a downgrade, if you ask me.
Honestly.
Okay, so seriously, the sword in question, that one is enchanted with fire, and it has well, it does have its own personality, but to suffice to say, it has the ability to do a flaming arc slash in front of it. If you focus into the sword once per battle, you have the chance, or not the chance, but you can cause a wave of flame, a brief one, to lance forward in front of you for a cone that's, let's say, a 30-degree arc and 10 feet in front of you.
It's an anime sword.
So it's like the Reinhardt Flame Strike.
I have no idea what that is, but
Overwatch.
sure.
Yes.
I don't play Overwatch.
All we need to know is it's a cool sword that can do cool magic-y things.
Basically,
also
if you
fire.
swing the sword back and forth and you focus really hard, you can cause a wave of flame to lance forward from you once per battle.
That's what I call a flaming swordsman.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Stop.
No.
Alright, so I'm keeping a
simply no.
catalog of the magic items. So we have the Dagger of Rolling Thunders. We don't have the Dagger of Eternal Solitude with us anymore, but there's the
No.
That
magic
was
missiles.
teleported away.
Yep. There's the magic shield. Does that have a name?
It does not have a name.
Okay. Magic sword. Does that have a name? Just flame sword?
That does have a name.
Okay. And then there's Diana's staff thing. Or did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, just
Yeah.
checking.
Diana's Staff of Plant Growth.
Plant growth, okay. Just trying to keep track.
All right. So we're going to head over to the library to meet with the others?
Yep.
Oh, probably should stop by the bulletin board on the way to see if that bandit job is still up.
Just check really quickly, yeah.
So heading over to the board, you see that there are a bunch of new jobs, and that the job for the bandit camp is still up. Though the price has changed and has gone up by about 10%. The reward has changed, and it's about up above it's 10% more than last time.
Usually, if the price goes up, it means that it's a bit more demanding, right?
I think.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
All right.
I'm just
Crane
gonna
is
take that one off the board. Keep it for safekeeping.
fair enough.
Are you guys looking at any of the other jobs, or are you heading straight over to the library?
Crane will take a quick peek over some of the other ones.
Alrighty then, you do also notice that there is a call to help with some of the local shops, and they're asking for basic materials to be gathered from the field. One of the jobs is asking you to bring back a bear for meat for the local tavern. It's not the Rusted Nail, but it's Rosie's Tavern that's asking for the bear meat. The Rusted Nail, however, is asking for 2 elk worth of meat. And the local blacksmithing shop is asking for any sturdy adventurer to head out toward the abandoned mithril mine to gather about a dozen good chunks of mithril, and they will pay handsomely for it.
I feel like Diana might not approve of going out and slaughtering animals, so maybe we'll just put a pin in those ones.
We can always
I
ask.
can do it.
I mean, we killed spiders.
Right, but those were, corrupted spiders.
Well, yeah, but we could still ask.
Fair enough. The
Um,
mithril mine seems harmless enough.
Isn't mithril supposed to be pretty rare, though?
Crane is going to point to Krovar's current greatsword.
That's true. Right, we could get more stuff, maybe. I could.
I'm sure they would appreciate us being such good patrons and actually giving them stuff. We've been probably nothing but good business for them. Well, at least we have that one job for sure. Let's keep the mithril mine in mind. To the library.
To the
To the
library.
library.
Mhm.
The librarians are giving you judging looks.
Was writing all this down, and instead of elk meat, I accidentally put down elf meat.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I've got someone in mind.
Find a 10-inch slab of elf meat out in the wild.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a well-endowed elf.
Whew. I mean, I'm kind of concerned that it's just out there on its own.
Well, I
Keep
never
it
said
at
it was on
home.
its own. I just
Best
Oh.
meat
said
pies
you
in
found
London.
Yeah.
Potato.
My god.
All right, so you guys hit the library, and you all see each other now.
Hello.
I just wave.
Hey, I guess it's time to give these librarians a piece of my mind.
Oh, are you trying to look for more porn?
I'm not looking for porn.
Crane is just gonna smile.
Let's not bother him about that, Crane. If he wants to go look at that stuff, he can look at that stuff.
Oh no, no. All of the power to him. I'm just I think it's very interesting that it's so difficult to find.
After you guys mention this, you guys see one of a very suspicious-looking human walking out of the one aisle that has to do with all of the succubi, and he gives you a sort of fearful look before he runs out of the building, clutching 2 books in his arms.
Wait, did he run past the book desk?
Well, yeah, but he conferred with them real quick, but he seemed to be more concerned about what you guys may think of him for being in that section.
For
Oh.
being in the porn section.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Not everybody wants to be caught with porn. I've been there.
It's him. But no, Nathis, it's perfectly understandable that you want to learn more about that, especially since you have so many friends in low places.
We also learned a few things.
Not to mention, reading is good for you.
It is.
Oh.
Oh yes, we did learn things. So,
Mhm.
Crane is there a map in the library, just like on the wall or something?
Not in this section, but if you look on the ceiling in the cartographing section, you will find one.
Mm.
It's emblazoned on the ceiling itself.
Okay. Crane is gonna like point to the map. We found some locations of possible people who might know about what happened to us.
They were part of essentially a bunch of druids and priests. They were the ones that essentially put up the enchantment around our graves where the obelisk was. And they're still alive, hopefully. So hopefully if we can talk to them, maybe they'll be able to tell us more about what happened with us and maybe give us information on why we're alive. And the demon, his name, the one that killed us, his name is Razakran, and I actually wanted to come here and read a bit about that. Oh, and ley lines. I have a theory on this, but we can get into that later. But there's a passage that said that the demons wanted to crack open the world and drink it dry, and ley lines are considered by many people to almost be like the world's life force. So hopefully we can investigate this a bit more and maybe get a little more information, because I think there might be a connection there.
I mean, Nathis, do you know anything about the goals of demons?
Depends on the demon.
So, like sometimes they don't want to suck the world dry.
I would say actually that a lot of them don't. But demons are as varied as people.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
Because in the passages that I read that mentioned that whole crack open the world and drink it dry, almost like the life force of the planet itself or something, like vital to the world's well-being. So
The
I don't
world is Razakran's coconut.
I guess. So I was going to look into that because that interested me. But I wanted to tell you guys about the rest because maybe if we split up, we can all look into stuff.
Oh, also I gave one of those daggers away for magic lessons.
Right, we got those appraised. We got to talk to a snooty elf. He was not very nice, but we did get to learn about the magic items. And there was this nice person there that was talking to us. They were very polite. Not the first dude. He was very rude, but you know.
Groval, why didn't you just like piss in one of the plants or something?
He was
Thought
planning
about
to.
it. The second one seemed nice enough.
Rather, yes. Hopefully, we'll be able to learn more
While
about.
I'm like doing this, I'm just like handing out like sheets of paper that I've like written stuff down on, just like passing it out, like notes. Probably
Crane
can't
is
even
going to
read it.
nod, fold it up, and put it in his pocket.
Wait, you give those back.
Oh, all right.
I'm just handing them out now so we can look at them and then you can hand it back. I can make copies later.
Did you tear them out of your book?
No, I just have pages that are meant to be taken out. Like I tear out some pages and I keep those in the book like a folder, and I keep certain pages just in there.
Right. Now,
Those are like my
okay.
quick notes. I go back and I do like actual more organized clean notes because when people are telling me things, it's sometimes very difficult for me to get clean organized notes while they're standing there telling me things. So I write it down very quickly and very hastily. Then I go back and I put it neatly in my book.
Oh, by the way, Nathis, I like your armor. It suits you.
Thank you. It's actually not quite what I normally wear, but it's good armor.
I mean, it certainly gives you presence.
Yeah. By the way, I still have my hood up, so hard to see, but
Oh, the job for the bandits was still up, so if we want to maybe head out for that, we can get. Apparently, the price went up, so they're getting a little bit more desperate.
Yes, hike. So, at least the payout will be decent.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming none of us die. Again.
Hopefully not.
None of us died the first time.
we don't remember the first time, because remember, we came out of graves.
Oh, right. I thought you meant like the spiders and stuff.
No, not round 2. I meant the first time.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling drop dead gorgeous.
Well, you always feel like that.
Oh, come on. Not even a laugh, not like a clap.
Well, you always, like, you're always feeling pretty good about yourself. You're very confident.
All right. So,
Oh! Oh, I get it now.
I'm going to scan over any of the people that I happen to see wandering around the library. Are there any other Rekold in here aside from, or specifically Rekold, that would work here or upkeep the library?
You see one person that looks like they may be actually working here, and you see 2 other Rakul that seem to be reading books.
Okay. I'm going to detach myself from the group and go speak to the person who seems to be
The employee.
yes.
All right. The Rakul notices you a few moments before you get close, and he sort of stiffens up a little bit, gives you a curt nod, and in the Rakul tongue, he says, "Yeah." You look like you're looking for something.
Yeah. Do you know of anybody either around the city or any books on shamanism?
Shamanism. He looks like he's really struggling for a moment, and then he says, "I think there might be a section over here." And walks off and dodges through a couple of rather large bookshelves, and then moves back and says, "Yeah, this is the shamanism section. There's a bit of a history about what they do." He points to one of the shelves on the higher levels and says, "Over there, there's some indications of some other rituals. Nothing really in depth. If you want that sort of stuff, you should probably head over to the Mages Guild. But there's lots of history about other shamans that have existed, some of the things that they can do, and some of their limitations."
Thanks.
Yep. Anything else?
I'm looking at if we have anything particular on the Black Rock, the mountain specific.
Oh, the Holy Mountain.
I haven't been in a while, and it's past time that I do a refresher.
He gives you a very knowing nod and says, "Yeah, I know what you mean. It's been a while since I've been back there." And he sort of gives you a look and says, "Well, I think I need to go confer with the champion of the Blackrock, and then after that I'll be heading over myself. Is there any reason you're heading back, or is just it's been a..."
It's been a very long time.
He gives you a nod and says, "Yeah, whenever you do get there, can you say a prayer to the champion?"
The-
Whoa.
okay, wait, what?
Sort of gives you a shrug and says, "Well, if you don't want to, it's just, yeah."
No, my upbringing was to the spirit of Blackrock itself. What champ?
Well, the champion of Blackrock. I mean, what do you mean? Do you not know what happened
No.
at Rezikran?
God.
I'm at this point. I've stopped trying to hide the agitation on my face.
Well, this guy looks fairly agitated too, because he looks like he's trying to figure out if you're like an imposter or you're just crazy or.
Library
'Cause-
fight.
Please don't make me start a fire in the library. I don't want to start a fire in the
No!
library.
So
Didn't
the
stop the
Rakul sort
fire.
of crosses his arms across his chest and gives you this really strange look, and he's like, well, the champion of the Blackrock are. He was one of the best of us. I mean, how do I describe this? He fought a demon and saved our lives, so we respect him, and we pray to him on occasion. And how
Okay,
do you not know
great,
this?
living legend. I keep hearing this: the Battle of Razakran, champions, just these illusions. Why are there no names?
I don't know. I mean, if we knew their names.
Built a damn mine. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Oh, have a good one. And it kind of gives you a look like this guy's fucking lost it.
You seem upset, Krovar. What's wrong?
Yeah, coming back to everyone else.
Return to the group? Did you come back?
Yeah, no, I can't. I'll remember the book section later. At this point, I'm just too frustrated.
You're just angry.
No one remembers who we are.
To be fair, we're not really sure who we are either.
Well,
Mhm.
from what I was just informed, apparently we may be a little bit more than just folk heroes. I
Considering
was told I was worshipped as, or one of the Recold. It may have been me. I'm not sure how many of us. Worshipped as a champion of Blackrock, above the actual spirit of Black,
Whoa.
which
that's
is
lovely.
in and of itself primally
Sacrilegious.
yes.
Whoa.
Just
I mean, I assumed that since there was a shrine and everything, that there was some sort of worship of the champions, but I never.
build shrines and burial grounds in honor. That doesn't mean that you go against tradition and start worshiping. We need to find that druid.
I would.
After
Sure.
250 years, things are going to change.
And I mean, we don't know exactly what happened at that battle. Maybe something really big happened, and we don't know why. This was apparently the result. I'm not saying that it's right. I don't know your culture. I just.
Everything's changed.
I'm sorry, Grover. That must be very frustrating.
When this was brought up, you probably noticed that Ovark visibly kind of recedes a bit.
Well, we probably don't want to make too much noise within the library, but if there's anything else that we wanted to look at, maybe we could. Right, Ovok, didn't you want to return that book that you were reading?
Right.
Tell me more about the druid.
Oh, right. There's a druid that worked alongside some of the others. They were responsible for, us waking up, I suppose. More specifically,
More putting us in the ground.
yeah,
Apparently,
they were.
a group of priests and druids that work together to create some kind of a seal. That was the obelisk that we woke up under.
Yes.
Leyline Convergence. They're one of the few people who are actually alive, that are still alive from the war.
Yes, Shaidada Raybadge, I think. Wood Elf Druid. According to.
Can I roll a check to see if that name, I have any recognition of it?
Oh, what's your name?
The druid's name.
Shaidada Raybadge.
Can I just
Go ahead and do a roll.
Can I just return the book real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Well, yeah, it's fine to do it.
I'm just gonna do that real quick, separate from the
Is
group.
that wisdom or intelligence?
This would be wisdom.
Woo! That will be 19.
It seems so familiar, in fact, that you remember them actually directly helping you, and in the memory you have, you see them healing you, and you think it.
You think. Sorry, you cut out a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. In the memory that you have of them, you not only know them, but they were healing you, and you were thanking them.
I know
this is
that
somewhere on a
name.
battlefield, and you can actually remember their face. So not only do you remember their name and that they are an ally of yours, but that they
I know Shadar.
Well, that makes this a lot easier then.
Like, no, like,
As in, he healed us on the battlefield.
oh. Well, that.
Oh. If he's still alive, then perhaps he can shed some light on the subject. Many subjects.
Might be a little bit rough for them if, been 250. Well, I mean, they're an elf, so it might not be as rough, but it's still a good while.
It'll be a nice shock to their system, seeing us all up
If
and around.
they recognize us.
Oh, I'm sure we haven't changed that much.
Have we? Think about it. No one recognizes us.
That's because no one was alive 250 years ago.
Except for, the elves.
Any
And-
images of us were probably embellished, so yeah, we're not going to match what they imagine, if they imagine.
We're icons.
Should we even worry about it? I mean, it's been so long. Everything's changed.
Just because everything's changed doesn't mean that it's any less valid to try and figure out where we come from.
But what if we find out things we don't want to know?
Then we'll have to deal with the consequences.
I don't...
There's
problem.
going to be things we're not going to like to know, but I think it's necessary to find out.
We definitely weren't perfect.
Better
I mean-
informed than ignorant, so.
Yes, I just...
We're not going to be perfect, Ovok, but at least we'll still be us.
No, I know. I'm not worried necessarily about all of us. Just... I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I
In the
say we
meantime,
go.
yes. In the meantime, maybe we should do the bandit job just to get some money for the trip.
Anyway,
That would be an excellent idea.
I end up separating from the group and going over to the librarians, waving the 2 books I have, saying I need lore, not smut.
One of the librarians catches sight of the book you have. At first, kind of looks insulted, then confused, then kind of curious.
And I drop it on, drop them on the, and I drop them on the counter and like be like, last time I was here, I said I needed lore, and whoever it was, I don't remember. Your faces all look familiar, or look similar, but
I definitely look insulted.
but I need lore on the succubi matrons, not sexual imagery. I don't care about this.
So the librarian in question sort of gives you a sigh and then nods and then, well, if you look in the section with, well, yeah, who helped you? Oh, you said you don't remember. All right, well, I guess I can go do this. I usually don't go into this section because of all the porn that just, I mean, not porn,
Erotica.
erotica, there we go.
That's the polite word for it.
There's the, yeah. So the human walks over and guides you into the one area that you were before. And he looks back at you and says, the succubi matrons, are you sure you're not just trying to get laid?
No.
That must be especially disgusting.
All right, well, if you're really not just looking to get... All right. So he grabs one of the ladders and starts looking up on the higher shelves that are really difficult to reach. And starts rifling through one of the books and another. And then after the third one, he sort of tilts his head and holds it out to you and says, have you looked at this one yet?
Have I?
You don't recognize the book.
Okay, I have not seen that one yet, no.
All right, and he tosses it down to you, and it seems to be a list of demons. It seems to be a rather, well, it seems to be a fairly boring list of demons, but it's still, it just says this is a concordant, or not a concordance, but a compilation of registered demons that we are aware of. And this seems to have been written about 50 years ago.
I flip through to the section on succubi and see if I recognize any names.
This is going to take a while because this is almost literally just a huge, a book-sized list of demons. So, one, you're going to have to expend a bit of time and mental fortitude to get through this, because to say this is boring is an understatement.
Hell's Yellow Pages.
Hell's actually, that's a great way to fucking describe it. This is Hell's Yellow Pages.
I think you're looking more at Hell's Tender, but okay.
I mean,
let's be serious. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
Are we all gonna try to do research here, or are we just talking in the library?
I mean,
I'm looking at a map. Can I do a check to see if I can get a narrower area to search?
Because
Crane
for
can-
the...
I was gonna say Ovark might walk away, do some stuff on his own in the library for a bit, but he did
Alright,
want to
what are
check
you doing?
first. He was just gonna check first to make sure that he wasn't like leaving them like unannounced.
No,
But
it's fine.
He was gonna definitely he's gonna ask about books on Razakran demons. No, not Razakran demons. Quillen started doing that. Ley lines, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you walk up to one of the librarians and you ask for information on Leyline?
Mhm.
All right, so the librarian sort of looks surprised and says, "Well, I'm surprised you didn't go over to the Mages Guild for this information, but I guess we have a couple of books about current data that we have on the ley lines. You just looking for their locations, or?"
No, well, I mean, locations are nice, but I was mostly just seeing I could learn some information about them, perhaps additional uses for them, why they would be sought after.
The librarian sort of holds back a laugh and says, "Wait, you're serious? Well, what can't you do with a ley line? I mean, if you're trying to do any sort of magical anything, you could basically use a ley line to supplement almost all of your magical pool to do it with. I mean, we've been able to, well, in the past anyways, there have been spells that have been fueled by ley lines that have been astronomical in levels of power.
What would happen if the ley lines were gone?
Gone. We don't know, honestly.
Hmm.
We
Maybe
just
I'll
know that
read.
they've been there for just about forever. And well, here, let me show you some books, at least for the locations. And he walks over and finds one of the books fairly easily. It seems to be mostly images and pictures, and maps. But he does show you a book that seems to be filled with partial information on where ley lines are. And none of the ley lines in and of themselves are fully mapped out, but there are locations on these maps that you can see where they have. It's like, we know this ley line starts somewhere around here, and it goes through this area, and then we lose track of it.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm going back to the Mage's Tower.
Yeah, I think I might end up getting more information there than the library.
That might be
I'm
a good
looking
location for me
over-
as well.
So I'm gonna.
I didn't say that to anyone. I am just up and leaving the library.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go at some point, but yeah, that was my next stop.
All right, for everyone else that is still in the library, what are you doing?
Crane would be willing to point out on the map where Arada showed the druid might be. So then she would have a point of reference. But other than that, he's actually... I'm afraid I'm not as much help with the academic side of things. I think I'm going to go practice something that Arada taught me. But Diana, here, he's going to kind of take her over to the map on the ceiling. This is around the part where Shaidada was apparently last seen. Maybe you'll remember something about where they are.
I had an elf teach me how to spew white stuff everywhere. I'm gonna go try it.
I mean, you know,
I mean, do you blame me?
you don't need to
You
spell
had to have somebody teach you how to do that? You couldn't
know.
figure that one out on your own?
You don't need magic for that.
But yeah, I'm going to send you 2 names over Discord, and I want to know if I can find them pretty quickly, since Nathis kind of has an idea of what he's looking for.
Hopefully it's in alphabetical order. That would make it easier.
All right, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again, Colin?
I said I'm sending you 2 names over Discord, and I want to know if you can find them pretty quickly, because he has some idea of what he's looking for.
All right.
I got a 24.
All right, so you're looking through the library for information on the location of that particular druid, correct?
Yeah, and kind of seeing if I can get a vibe, druidic sense of narrowing it down to a smaller area than that big, huge area.
From what you see in the texts that you have available to you, and through some of the help of some of the other librarians, you do find that recent sightings of Shadadar are been in some of this and around the city of. Hold on. Put the name in Discord. It was evidently reported that the druid had been helping with crops and the hunters because there had been some issues with with yields. So he was evidently sighted there, helping them out, causing the crops to bloom and flourish, and helped with some of the animals coming back, which also helped with the hunts.
Is that in Keaton, or is that the forest, or is that actually in the jungle?
That is in the southern part of the jungle, a bit north of that one lake I can see down there.
I see where you're talking about.
So, like,
North
there?
by northeast. Hold on.
Northeast would be over here somewhere.
Yeah. So, here. That's right, he's not in Roll20.
Let me log into Roll20. I hate this site. It's always fucking with me.
I can fix it for you later so that next time it won't do bullshit.
I'm trying to log in now. Give me a moment. I like the idea of the Roll20 thing, but the interface doesn't always work. Well, it actually has never worked for me.
It is a little bit finicky.
Yeah, I've
What
grown used
browser are
to
you
it.
using it in?
Oh.
I'm
Google
using
Chrome.
Google Chrome.
Yeah, that's what I'm using it in. It seems to be okay.
I see dynamic lighting now. What the fuck is all this? Lots of dynamic lighting. I don't want to find out more. Fuck off.
Don't do
How do I make
dynamic
this
lighting.
work?
It's going to slow down the computer. Like,
Okay, now I can see it. No, not there. Let me... How do I make them?
Go to the sidebar and there's a paintbrush.
And do freehand.
That's west.
Yeah, that is west.
I am trying to get this to work properly, so give me a
Instead of
moment.
draw shape, hit freehand.
There we go. And I'll put the name in on the map in and of itself. Or should I not do that?
So
No,
it's
just-
here.
The dot that I just made. And I think you just made it bigger.
Okay, so yes, it is that one.
Yeah, can you
Okay.
just put the name in there? That's where it's supposed to be. That's
Sure.
what it is. And there's also supposed to be a river there, but I don't... Whatever. I'm not doing this very well, and I'm sorry, everyone, but I'm trying.
This map is crap.
no,
It's
you're
okay.
Yeah,
fine.
we'll get
It's
a better
okay.
one later.
This is a hard thing to just jump into and do randomly in the middle of a session.
It's
But
okay.
Nobody's going to get mad at you. This program is finicky. Takes a while to get used to, and I only really did it because it was free, so... That's why I have like 3,000 hours on it, but most of those actually just come from me accidentally leaving it open for like a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go.
So,
Okay, and can you remind me where we are? We're down in Keaton, right?
We
we are in between.
We're like south of Blackrock, I think.
We're like around there-ish. Kind of like sandwiched.
We are kind of here, actually.
Hmm?
Here?
Up there.
Oh,
There?
there?
Oh,
The
here.
black dot that I just put.
Oh, okay.
I was right. I was pretty close.
Neat. Okay.
There, I put a
Um,
purple dot on your black dot. That's where we are right now.
So-
Multi-dotting.
So, I mean, Krovar just left for the Mages Guild, so probably should address that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I
before
was
you address
gonna.
that, Crowbar, what are you doing by the time you get to the Mages Guild? Because I don't think you guys are going to notice right away. Or
I'm
I guess you
looking
guys need to
for,
roll.
at first, a familiar face. Anybody that I recognize from either the fucking, what is it, the Dark Elf, Void Elf, what?
Arada, yeah.
Yeah, her.
All right, roll me a d20. Perception. 16. Okay.
16.
You managed to find her, and you see that she is currently having another student float what looks like a cannonball across one of the.
Neat. Irada.
I don't wanna. Sorry.
She looks over and smiles at you and waves and says, "Oh, welcome back. How can I help you?"
You mentioned the last time my friends and I were in here, your teacher. Does he happen to be, yeah, I don't know who I'm looking for, Archmage, Headmaster, something?
Oh, he's not the Archmage, but he is my teacher, and yeah, he's upstairs. Do you wanna? Is there an issue that you have a problem with him? Or?
Not an issue, no. I'm in an impasse. We're looking for answers. I can't find them, and I need someone who is a little bit more magically inclined than we are.
All right. Well, let me go see if I can go get him for you. Or do you just want to come upstairs with me?
I'll follow you.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt, but Ovark at some point is going to go to the Mage's Tower, probably after Crowbar left. He might not know he's there, but he was going to ask Arata some stuff at some point. So when he's done doing his thing, I don't want to necessarily interrupt.
So, as of right now, you get led upstairs, and there's a lot of stairs. In fact, there seems to be more stairs than there seems to be building, at least from the inside's perspective. And as a warrior, you can easily sort of walk out how big the building should have been, and from your estimations, you have already traveled twice its height in stairs, or at least it feels like it. But you do eventually get up to a room, but it does not seem to be the top of the tower, that has a very, very old-looking wood elf. And he looks over and gives you both of you a look, and Arata says, this Blackrock would like to speak with you. I'll be downstairs if you two need me." And she gives you both a bow and then heads out. And the wood elf sort of looks surprised, and he has a very long, very flowing beard, and it's very obviously white and showing his age. He strokes it a little bit and says, "This is quite unusual. How can I help you, sir?"
My name is Crow. Up until recently, I barely even knew. As of 3 days ago, I woke up in a hole in the ground, next to a black obelisk just north of.
Really? That sounds like the champion's resting place.
From what I understand, it was. And here recently, I have reason to believe that myself and 4 others who rose from those graves are these previous champions. We can't remember anything, we can't prove anything. But some very unusual circumstances have been arising around us.
I see. Well, I guess there's a few different tests we could do to prove the veracity of that claim, but oh my goodness, that's quite an extraordinary claim. Are you sure you just didn't get drunk and passed out over there? No offense. It's just it's far more likely than you actually being the champion.
What tests?
All right. Well, I need some reagents. Give me a moment. And he stands up and starts rummaging around for items. Who was the other person that was coming to the Mage Tower?
Me. I was.
All right. So you managed to find the Mage Tower?
I would also be going along after getting this book, just because.
I would try to not get anybody with me. I want to go alone if I can.
All right. So you'd be next, and you find the Mage Tower. What do you do next?
I'm just gonna look around for Errata if I can.
You see her coming down the stairs.
Hi.
Oh, she perks up and says, "Oh, you're back as well. How can I help you?"
What do you mean as well?
Oh, your friend Krovar is upstairs.
Oh, he is.
Yes, he's having a conversation with my mentor.
Can I ask what it is, or no?
I honestly don't know the nature of it. You'd have to ask him when he's.
Oh, I mean, I had some questions for you, but I guess I
Oh,
also
what are
have
the questions?
about that. Well, part of it was because I went to the library and there was stuff about the ley lines and stuff, and I had a thought. I don't know if there's any thesis papers on this kind of thing, but what would happen if maybe the ley lines were sucked dry or were gone? The librarian I met with, they said they don't really know. They've just kind of been around forever, but
Like, actually removed?
I don't know if removed or if they had their power drained or.
Well, if it'd be next to impossible to drain a ley line, and as far as we know, they're the lifeblood of the planet. So if someone was powerful enough and had a massive enough magical reservoir to drain it, they would essentially be draining the planet, and then everything would die, I think.
Okay,
Or the planet itself would die, and then everything on the planet would die because the planet was dead, I think.
I was just curious because I had read a bit of a passage in a book about how Razakran was planning to crack open the world and drink it dry, I think was the statement. And that just.
Oh, yes. That demon was evidently attempting to eat the planet, and yeah, that's basically what the fear was, which is why the champions rose up to stop.
Could you tell me anything else about Razakran?
I believe he was and she looks around and then snaps her fingers, summoning another book and opening it up. And she says, "Oh, this seems to be a Balor-type demon with an exceptional propensity toward cruelty, violence, and hunger. He was known for his torture methods, his tyrannical ruling, and his love of cherries."
Could we wait? Cherries?
Yeah, he really liked cherries for some reason.
Okay, could you repeat that really quickly? I'm sorry, I started writing it down. I didn't get all of it. Razakran. He was a Balor, you said?
Balor-type demon, yes.
Balor.
Really old one, as far as we can tell. We don't know his exact age. We weren't exactly able to interrogate him, but we suspect that he was greater than 50,000 years.
That's pretty old. So, what else was there? Obviously, there's a lot of cherry.
He was known for his cruelty, his torture methods, interrogation techniques. He liked cherries, evidently. And
Tyrannical ruling.
yeah, he was tyrannical ruler.
Sorry if you know my typing.
Furious typing intensifies!
I'm doing it all. I have bad short-term memory. All right. Thank you. All right. After that, I just go, okay. Thank you. Would it be rude if I tried to ask what they were doing upstairs, or no? Like, could I knock on the door?
I think it would be polite to just wait.
Okay. I'll stay here then.
Okay. Feel free to ask around if you need any help with anything. I have a student that needs assistance with some telekinesis. And she walks off to a room that seems to hold a student trying to move a ball of iron around. Who is the next person heading toward the mage tower? Quillen, right?
I would have, yes.
So you find the mage tower, and what do you do next?
Well, since I haven't been here before, I would have to try and find somebody to talk to.
All right, walking inside, you find a high elf that sort of gives you a disdainful sort of look, and
I give him the exact same look right back.
All right, there's a moment that he sort of pauses, and then gives you a smile and says, "Oh, welcome. It appears that someone of actual aptitude has finally reached us. How can I help?"
I need to talk to a resident diabolist or demonologist.
Well, not my favorite subject, but I guess we have some people who are rather experienced with that. He taps his finger on his chin for a few moments and then sort of grins. I know who we can bother about this. I don't like them anyways. Please follow me. And he leads inside, and you pass. You see in one of the rooms one of your other party members, but this elf is leading you away from them. So if you're going to do anything, you have a few moments to do so, or are you just going to ignore them?
Is it Ovark or Krovark? I'm imagining Ovark.
It's Ovarg. You
Yeah.
cannot see Grovarg.
I'll keep going.
All right, so this particular high elf leads you into one of the lower levels, heading downstairs, which is really strange considering that the trek downstairs seems to carry you fairly deep into the stone, assuming that the physics of this place is normal. And after a little bit, you enter a room where you see a whole bunch of people surrounding what appears to be a prime demon. And this demon is obviously on fire and very upset looking as all of them casually talk around it. And there you can see a summoning circle keeping it bound for the moment. The high elf gets the attention of one of the other infernal elves in the room, and they walk over and give both of you a look and says, "Jackson, what the fuck are you doing in this room? I told you not to come here again." And the high elf looks at him and says, "I brought you a friend." And the infernal elf says, "I told you I didn't want to see you in my room again."
Of course, Jackson is his name.
So the high elf just gestures to Nathis, and the infernal elf sighs and says, "Are you a friend of his?"
I just met him walking into the tower.
The infernal elf sighs and says, "Jackson, get the fuck out of here." And then looks at you and says, "All right, how can I help you?"
Considering what's in this room, I assume it's dedicated to the research of demons. I am currently trying to actually find out some stuff about two particular individuals.
All right, and what are the individuals?
I take out a piece of paper, write their names down, and hand them over. And Z, you would find them in Discord.
All right. So the infernal elf looks extremely surprised at both of the names and gives you a look and says, "Well, everyone wants to know where she's at, and everyone would love to know where she's at as well, I guess." One of them is, as far as we know, according to all of the lore, the mother of all succubi and incubi. And this one is, well, we have rumors that this one is related to one of the champions.
And Matron of Pain and whatever else you want to call her.
Wait, does your character tell him that?
Yeah.
Okay, now he looks even more surprised and says, "Oh, so you actually do know who you're contending with." Well, so this isn't a suicide mission or a really badly advised booty call.
Yeah, try convincing the people at the library about that.
Oh god, no, you didn't go to the library looking for this information, did you?
I was not directed to the Mages Guild first, so yes, I did.
He just looks at you like awestruck and says, "Wow, you have more balls than I do." Alright, I wouldn't be caught dead looking for this information in the library. Anyways, okay, so this one is most definitely in the Abyss, and he points to the second name. This one, however, we believe is on the mortal plane. We've actually been trying to get into contact with them over the past century, but they seem to be hiding, so we can't get into contact with them without direct blood, or blood that's any of their.
Okay.
Yeah,
direct
let you
blood.
say.
Would you say of a relative would work?
Well, yeah, but we don't know anyone who's related to her.
If I could get you some blood of a relative, what would it earn me?
Literally anything in this tower. Like, I would try to do my best to get you, like, a blood of one of a demon this powerful. Oh my goodness, that would enable us to communicate and potentially even summon.
And what would you do if you could summon her?
There was just so much information we try to get out of her. Spells, locations of demon artifacts. He just this elf seems like it's like, what can't we do with the blood of a demon?
Would you be treating her like you do the guy over there? Or
Oh hell no, she's far more dangerous. We would have to be getting a far more powerful array of binding spells. We would need to ensure that the magical matrices were perfectly aligned. This is just an amateur setup by comparison. For a demon this powerful, we would need to prepare for. She would be able to rip all of us apart, and probably the entire tower too, if she was pissed off enough.
Ah. Okay. Well. What?
I mean, you do know this is a demon, right? I mean.
Yeah. What lore do you have on the matrons, and can I get that, please? Perhaps a copy.
Well, we have some. Well, not a copy, but I mean, if you help us out, we can lend you access to the library. We have some tasks that need to be done, and some reagents that we're missing that we could always use more of. But
what reagents?
Well, we're kind of low on Demon's Bane at the moment, and we could always use more Earth.
Uh-huh.
Those usually help with summoning, and if you have any yarrow flower, that would be great. Let's say a bundle of all three, and we'd let you have access to the library for an hour.
Isn't Demon's Bane just rosemary?
Mm-hmm.
I'll see what I can do. I'll write that stuff down and take it with me.
All right, well, thanks. Have a good one. Okay, Crowbar. I'm getting back to you now. Sorry
Yes.
for the deviancy.
No, I
but
understand.
This is the way time goes. So last thing you had asked this particular elf was what?
What
He was
tests?
looking for something.
Yeah.
All right, the tests. That's right. Thank you. Okay, so the elf had been rummaging around the room for a little bit now, and brought forth what looked like to be powdered gold, a silver rod that had been ruined and is glowing. So you suspect it's highly magical, and then a bowl of what looks like vodka.
Okay.
And he sets the bowl down in front of you and takes the gold and actually sprinkles it on your fur, on your head and shoulders, and then holds the silver rod out to you and asks you to hold.
All right, I take it.
Now, what I would like you to do is to think of absolutely nothing and touch the tip of the rod into the bowl of liquid.
Okay.
Clear your mind of all thoughts.
That's kind of a steep order right now, but we'll see what we can do.
Be gone, thoughts.
Hey!
I guess that's what I'll try and do. Just
So roll me a
Empty
d20 to attempt to clear your thoughts, because that is not a trivial task.
oh, fuck
It
me.
is
All right.
definitely not a triple
That's
task.
Okay, so as you touch, I'm assuming you're going to try to touch the tip of the rod before, or do you try to touch the tip of the rod to the bowl before you clear your thoughts completely? Because you know that you haven't cleared your thoughts yet.
I'm kind of at this point I'm agitated because I want answers, but I don't want to fuck this up because at the same time I'm not sure what it's going to do and I don't want to like blow up the tower or anything.
Oh my god, it blew up the tower.
Okay.
I'm glad we're in the library.
Because at this point I'm a little frustrated.
So
And
you-
having someone just to tell you just to empty your mind when you're mad doesn't work.
doesn't fucking work very well. I know.
Yeah, just clearing my mind in general never happens, so it's always racing.
Oh man, can you imagine Ovark trying to do this test?
Oh my god, he would not.
Okay. Roll again to see if I
I
can.
mean, who knows? He might still have to, for all we know.
Or
Yeah,
am I
you can
just...
roll again if you want. I mean,
Okay.
your character knows that he hasn't cleared his mind, so it's up to him whether he wants to touch the rod to the fluid yet or not. So I guess you're also rolling against your character's internal impatience.
Yes. We get one more.
Okay, wisdom saving throw for the impatience.
That's up to him.
Are you
Oh my
fucking kidding?
god! A 5, a
Five,
6,
six,
and a
and
7.
Hey, at least it's consistently gone up.
Well,
least.
you know, all you got to do is 13 more tries, and eventually
I
You're
know.
gonna
you'll get this.
Eventually, you'll get a 20.
You can
So-
do it.
No!
Oh my god.
Okay, you know what? Fine.
It's an
We're
8?
done.
Oh my
With an 8,
god.
yes. 5, 6, 7, 8. And at
Oh
8,
my
we're just...
God.
Okay, fuck it. I guess this is as good as it's getting.
Oh
So
no!
As you touch the tip of the rod to the fluid, you instantly feel very cold, and so cold that it feels like the entire room has just gotten frozen.
Okay.
Now, despite how it feels, you also instantly see your shoulders, your forearms, your legs, and anywhere else you can see fur slowly glow a heat, like an incandescent deep red. And the gold that was on you instantly catches fire, as well as the liquid in the bowl, which doesn't seem to alarm the elf in front of you, but does seem to surprise them. And says, "Oh my."
Okay. So is it safe to say it's colder than what happened in the room before when Crane did his thing?
To you, right now, it feels like you're sitting on a block of ice, surrounded by ice in a room that's made of ice.
So cold.
But you aren't shivering. It just feels cold.
I don't like cold. Like,
He looks at you and says,
At
"Oh, the spell. Okay, just take the rod out of the liquid."
okay, yeah.
As
But
you
at that point,
remove
it's... Yeah.
Yeah, as you remove the rod, the sensation immediately dissipates and your fur returns to normal. And the older elf just sort of sits there for a moment and gives you a look, and then looks at the rod and the bowl, and then back at you and says, "Alrighty then. I honestly never thought I would ever have the chance of meeting a champion. This is profound. The spirit of Blackrock is sitting in front of me."
Quick question.
What?
Is there an empty room where I could just let go for a...
You don't see an empty room around you right now. You just see an old elf and a
I
bowl
think
of
you would-
vodka.
No, I was asking
Yes,
the
yeah.
elf.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. The elf sort of thinks for a moment and says, "I have a storage room that I keep some of my my booze. Do you want a drink?"
No.
Oh, okay.
I would like to rage.
That's about where we're at right now.
Yeah.
You guys not have training rooms for your...
Oh yes, those are down in the lower levels with the mineralogist.
Could you direct me to one, please?
Yeah, just take the stairs and keep going down until you see demons.
Thank you. And that's what I will do.
Alrighty then. Who? Okay. Who is-
I'm still just chilling, so if I see him...
Okay. So are you sitting in in the entryway in the lounge?
Probably, I was probably writing in my book, but if I noticed him walking in the stairs, I'd probably like perk up for a sec.
Well, I was going to ask you to do me a roll to see where you were facing in relation to the stairs.
Oh, I wanted to have Ovark like sit there and just stay close to the door so that when somebody came out, he could talk to him.
Well, yeah, but there's a difference between the door and the stairs, though.
Oh, right. Okay.
The front entry door and the stairs that go up and down. in the
Oh.
tower.
Okay.
So,
So
like,
what
are you
should-
watching the door or are you trying to watch the stairs? Because you cannot watch both at once right now. Not with the way the tower setup is.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna watch the. He went through. Where did when he went up the stairs, right? Or is he?
Crowbar went upstairs.
I
Quillen
went
down.
upstairs before any of you guys got there. I am now heading downstairs.
Yeah, and I talked to Arata, and she was like, "He's up the stairs." So I was gonna.
Okay,
stay
so you're
close.
watching the stairs.
Yeah, sorry. I thought that was
That's fine.
I thought there was doors, like, and then there were stairs. I didn't know it was just stairs.
Well,
In
no,
my
there's,
mind-
there's lots of open areas, and there are a few doors leading to the rooms. But this place is mostly built. It's open and free and fairly flowing. Its design is obviously set up by elves.
It's open
But,
concept.
Yeah, it's very open and flowing and all that hippie shit.
All right.
I don't know how to describe it properly. It's just it's that way.
Well, in my mind, it just kind of reminded me of like a library across with like the Hogwarts stairways.
Yeah, sort of like that. Except for the stairway is more centralized and not all sort of. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
So you head downstairs. Ovark. You
I'm a-
see Crowbar. Wait, what? You were saying something.
Oh, I just said I wave a little bit when I see him.
Okay, Crowbar. Do you ignore him?
No, I definitely don't stop, but I give him an acknowledging nod, like I recognize that he's there, but I keep.
Alrighty. And Quillen, where did we leave off? Oh wait, no, Ovark, are you doing something?
You said that I was going to notice, like you were saying something. Did I notice anything about him? Because you mentioned, like, when he came down the stairs, you noticed, but then you got cut off. Was there
Oh
anything
yeah, I was
there
just gonna
about...
say you noticed him moving. That was-
Oh, okay. If he just walks away without, like, necessarily returning my greeting, I'll just follow him.
Oh, well, like he acknowledged you and like
Well,
gave
he
you
acknowledged it, but I always like to, if I greet someone, I like to have somebody go and, like, greet me back, so...
Oh,
Remember, this is not...
Stalker
somebody-
mode activated.
He's not a stalker!
I know I'm fucking with you.
Just remember, this is...
this is not gonna end well.
Okay, listen, I
So-
live for drama, okay?
You guys are
That's
heading
fine.
downstairs, and since you guys are heading downstairs, I'm also gonna shift the scene a little bit to see what Quillen is
And
doing.
I would have been heading upstairs, so I would run into these two.
All right, so everyone meets on the stairs.
Three bros chilling on the stairways.
Okay, I knew this is actually, or I stop and it's like, okay, I knew the orc was here, but what's big and fluffy doing here?
Blowing off steam, and I can keep continuing downstairs.
I'm just gonna follow, because I'm concerned.
All right, so Crowbar, you head downstairs and you see a giant, spiky, flaming demon that is about 2 heads taller than you and looks like it could lift a horse and throw it around like a rag. But it's standing in a glowing circle for some reason and looks irritated. And there's also a room full of nerds in there.
Okay. Well, are there any rooms off to the side? I'm looking for. Yeah, I want an empty room to where I can just.
Oh, just empty. Okay.
Yeah.
So, heading down a little bit further then. Well, I was just saying your character would have probably stopped and looked around and see, since the one guy said head downstairs until you see demons, and you see what's a very obvious, very
Oh yeah, fair.
large demon. But if you're going to continue
well,
until you're
if
looking for an
that's-
empty room.
No, I'll
And I just keep
stop and.
following.
Maybe there are some
Are
target
you going to
dummies.
expend your
At least
rage
they-
on the demon?
No, 'cause I'm not looking to expend rage on anything in particular. I need to let go, especially if there's other people around. I don't want. I don't know what's going to happen.
He might channel his fire stuff again.
Sorry, I somehow muted myself, or deafened myself, sorry. I missed something.
Krovar is trying to find anger management room.
Yeah, and I was following, so I don't know what's going on.
So one of the rooms off to the side seems to be a similar room to this. You, as Krovar, you have no idea what these rooms are for, but
Right.
there's lots of weird markings on the ground, and this one's empty.
Cool. Works for me. I am going to just... I'm taking all of my armor off, and I'm leaving the shield and sword out by the door.
Okay.
I am walking into the center of this room, and I am doing the same thing that I did in the cave.
Can I watch?
Just basically going straight for the deep dive.
Was there a door for this room, or can I see him doing this?
You can look in. There's no door proper, but you can see that... you are the scholar, right?
I am the lore
Alright.
master.
Looking down on the floor, you see that he's standing in the center of a deactivated binding rune. And before you can say anything, you see him sort of unleash a lot of energy and activate this rune.
Oh.
And this rune activates the second that an explosion-like wave of force emanates from him, and then that explosion wave of force gets immediately turned inward as the rune is activated. So he basically powers up the rune and then channels it and activates it, and all at the same time. So, Krovar, from your perspective, you get really pissed off. You start unleashing everything, and then you see the floor light up as the strange markings on the ground light up, and you see magic moving faster on the ground than... Well, it's like moving lightning fast, and all of these runes light up, and the entire room is lit up in a matter of seconds, or less than a second, I'm sorry. And as the fire almost reaches out beyond twice your arm's reach, it seems to stop in a perfect circle around you. And then it turns back inward, you feel it rushing over you, and then it just sort of rebounds inside of this channel that you're standing in now. And after a little bit, it calms down, and you're just standing there smoldering. Your fur is smoldering, but it's not... You're not on fire, the air around your fur is on fire. So anyone who's looking at you may think that you are on fire, but that's not the case.
Oh no.
Okay.
Then I'm going in. If I think he's on fire, would I know he's not on fire, or?
I don't know. You see that his fur appears to be on fire, or at least smoldering in some places. And you do definitely see that he's inside of a very well-made binding room.
I'm just gonna say that my initial reaction is, oh no. I'm gonna make my way over.
You did say you were standing in the very center of the room, right?
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to try and replicate those movements that Errata showed Crane, but with the exception of the wave. Instead of making like the crashing wave formation, it's more of a dig. I'm not reaching for the ley lines. I'm trying to reach for magma or something that would be connected to the volcano, to Black Rock.
The mantle?
All right. So as you reach out, you see 4 of the runes, specifically the ones on the 4 walls, except for the door that you had entered, suddenly grow super bright, and you feel very tired as nothing happens.
Okay.
Have I made my way closer yet, or?
Yeah, you're basically standing inside the room, I'm assuming now.
Okay.
You're standing just inside the doorway. From there, I'll let you tell where your character is moving.
Okay. As this is happening, I'm just gonna call. I go, "Are you okay? Are you on fire?"
Can I extinguish the flames?
Can you what? You're trying to turn the fire that's on you off.
Yes.
Okay, so as you try to do that, the 4 runes that you saw before on the walls grow bright again as nothing happened.
That's a binding rune.
Oh, what?
A binding rune.
Can you turn it off?
Can I? Is that something I can do, or is it just part of the room?
From what you understand about the geometry of this room and how this entire thing is set up, this is supposed to keep demons from destroying things. In fact, they are designed so that the demon is standing right where Crowbar is standing to prevent them from using any sort of magic and prevent them from moving or escaping. And that only works as long as the rune is activated, which you can tell it is most definitely fully activated right now. So Crowbar, as far as you can tell, is fucking stuck there.
He's trapped. Okay. I explained that to him word for word. I go, so yeah, I think you might be trapped.
Then go get someone.
Well, what if... Are you going to be okay?
Now.
Okay. I'm gonna walk and try to find, like, Errata or some other mage of similar stature.
You don't find
Yeah.
Errata, but you see some other mages in the room that with the very tall, very burning demon that looks irritating.
Yeah,
Okay.
as Ovark walks away, I'm going to deactivate the rune. Because I know a thing or two about summoning and binding spells.
So Nethys leans down and touches one of the symbols on the floor near your feet, and the entire ray flickers and then seems to collapse on the point where Nethys just touched. And everything shuts back off. And the instant that happens, the flames on your body and your shoulders specifically seem to come back full force. So they're not quite to the level of a good campfire, but they're still pretty up there, and they feel nice and warm to you.
Would I have known this, or am I just running to grab
You're-
someone? Because
You had already left, so...
I had already left.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay,
say.
I didn't know if that was like as I was walking away, you were doing that, or if I'm just already gone and I'm gonna have somebody and it's gonna be useless. So I'm grabbing someone, but I no longer need their help.
All right. So you do find a bunch of people that are evidently writing stuff down and in the room with the one other demon. Who do you approach? Do you approach just the first person you see, or what?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. You said you're looking for
Okay.
someone to help, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know yet that I don't know. We no longer need the help, but I'm just gonna go to the closest person. I go, excuse me, do you know how to deactivate binding runes?
The one elf in question looks at you and says, well, yeah. I mean, that's sort of a novice thing to do, is to deactivate them. All you have to do is destroy the binding rune. Are you trying to summon something, or?
Oh, no. My friend, I think, is trapped right now, in the training room downstairs.
Oh, that's bad. Let's go fix him. So, as he's heading over to the room now, you and Korra and Nethys, what are you guys doing?
Nethys.
No, I'm talking to not oh yeah, Nethys.
The two of us, but yeah. Um,
Korra, you're also unbound at the moment.
I know.
I don't know, I just turned the rune off, so...
Do you think you'd be able to turn it back on?
Yeah, that's easy.
If this starts getting crazy, I need you to do that.
Well, if it starts getting crazy, it's probably going to turn on by itself, because that's how this one's designed.
And Nethys, you're going to probably identify that if he tries to do whatever he was doing where he's standing again, he's going to turn it back on.
Ah. Well, never mind then.
I mean, if you take like 4 steps to the left, so you're not standing in the exact center of the room, you'll be able to do whatever you want. But
Oh, okay,
standing
cool. Let's
right
try
where
that
you
then.
are, you're standing in the perfect center of the array that's specifically designed to stop all magic from happening.
Okay.
So you step out of the center, I assume.
Yeah, I take a few
Okay.
paces to the left.
Okay,
And
so this time when you unleash, Nethys, you get to see from your perspective, 2 waves of flame erupt from his hands as they move outward, and the fire on his shoulders seem to extinguish as his eyes glow a bright orange. And this feels great to you. It feels like stretching your muscles right now, Koromar.
great. Then same deal. I'm going to
Try to
take
do
a
that
seat
one motion.
try to do that meditation again.
All right, so this time, as you reach down and try to take hold of the depths, essentially, you're aiming for the magma,
Yes.
or the heat down there. You feel the ground underneath you shift a little bit. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say ground. You feel the floor of the mage tower, this particular room, shift slightly.
Okay.
You continue.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
Roll me a d20.
They're gonna create a volcano in the mage tower.
Also, Nathis, you notice that some of the runes that weren't active before in this particular.
Oh no!
What did you do?
No!
I am so
What
glad
you
we're in the
No!
library.
What you guys
Oh.
didn't
Alrighty
hear
then.
was my
So,
elbow
Nethys.
slamming down on the table to catch my face.
Do I get to catch? Do I get to watch this disaster go down?
Actually, yeah, you
my
and the
God.
other helper walk into the room just as you guys see this. You see Korvar sitting off to the off center of the array, and the one actually demonologist, Nethys knows him as that, but what you think is a mage just stands there in awe and says, "Oh fuck," and you see,
What?
yeah, you see the entire array start lighting up again, centered around where Krovar was sitting. So it's clear that he's the
Origin.
epicenter of the magic outreach, so to speak. And then a split second after that, there is a crack that starts forming on the floor as the sigils and runes in the room start flickering. And then you start smelling something burning. Like, despite the fact that you see that his fur has fire on it, you smell something that's burning that is not fire, or I'm sorry, that is not fur, and smells like something similar to a forge, actually.
Hmm.
Now,
Oh.
the demonologist quickly pats Obark and says, I'm going to go get the Archmage. I'll be right back.
What?
And
What?
he runs out of there.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
I'm throwing a bunch of binding magic directly at Krovar.
Roll a d20. Also, Krovar, roll your saving
Just another d20.
throw. Whatever you would have against magic. Or is there any specific things against magic?
No, it's just a saving throw.
All right, so yeah, that'd be just a saving throw. So it's your roll against his roll.
Hmm.
Nathis, do you have any bonus? Oh, never mind. Never mind. It doesn't matter. So,
What? Oh.
okay. So a second later, Krovar, it feels like a weight against your wrists and your ankles as Nathis' spell washes over you, and you see similar runes in the air above your wrists and ankles that you saw on parts of the ground around you, and you feel that one connection that you were starting to feel deep below suddenly, it's like it's dulled and
Severed.
muffled.
Yeah.
Hey, big fluffy rage machine, let's not destroy the city now, okay?
Yeah. Can I just let go at this point?
You can
I mean,
try.
you were trying to let go
Yeah.
before.
Well, not like. Now I'm wanting to kind of okay. That was a fun experiment. Now we're gonna try and suppress it.
So you're trying to reel it back in.
Yes.
All right. So now you're actively letting go even while you're under the binding.
Yeah. Trying to.
All right. So you see. Hold on.
Where the fuck was that roll?
Okay. So yeah, the fire around you seems to die and dim, and everything seems to return to normal. The energy or the sigils on the wall flicker completely out now, and the only thing that remains are the glowing, floating sigils above your wrists and ankles. So the only thing that's left now is Nathis' spell.
Which means I have a pet puppy. I'm actually going to
Who's
watch
that
him
good
for
boy?
a little bit, and when I'm sure he's not going to wreck everything, I'll let him go.
So
All right. So after a little bit, the sigils disappear, and the weight, as well as the muffled sensation, seem to both lift, and your senses return to you. But now you can definitely. The ground beneath you feels a lot more familiar and a lot more. You're a lot more sure of your step now, Crowbar.
Good. All right.
so
When we leave, we need to make a trip.
A trip where?
We need to go to the mountain.
Blackrock, you mean?
Yeah.
Whatever fucking mountain do you think I'm talking about, bruh?
I know, right?
When a Blackrock says the mountain, there's only
mountain.
one mountain they're talking about.
Well, I'm not a Blackrock. I
I
wouldn't
don't give
know.
a fuck about any other mountain. There is
That mountain
one
over there
mountain.
is
There is
screwed.
the mountain. The
What?
fucking mountain.
What's your profanity? Like, oh.
All right, so what do you guys do now?
Does Crowbar look at all, like, calmed down, or does he look ready to, like, explode again? Do you?
What?
Do you look at all calmed down, or do you look ready to, like,
no,
blow up?
I'm good now.
Okay, Wolfark's gonna kind of, like, gently walk over and go, are you okay? What happened? You talked to someone and you seemed to get all angry. Are you okay?
I told that elf that I spoke to. Errata's master, teacher, whatever. He confirmed it. Apparently I am this champion, and we are the champions of that battle.
You told someone?
I had to. I'm tired of hiding and all of this crap, and now we have answers.
That's true.
We have an answer.
That's better than nothing.
Are you?
So now about this time, you hear the running footsteps of the one student returning, and a very disgruntled, very concerned-looking, and very unusually young-looking elf, high elf, skid to a stop in front of the room that you guys are on. And the Archmage looks at the student and then at you guys and says, "I think you said something bad was happening." And the student says, "The entire thing was going to explode. I could feel there was all kinds of dangerous volatile magics rising up, and it was going to destroy the foundation." And
I fixed it.
And the Archmage holds up a finger and says, "It seems to be fine now." And now the one elf looks at you specifically, Korovar, and says, "You said you fixed it. What happened? Were you trying to do some experimental magic now?"
More or less.
My goodness. It's really rare to see someone so potent in such magics.
You guys
Where
may
are
need
you
to get
from?
that floor fixed.
Well, yeah, we're going to be fixing that later. I'm just... You have me far more curious of where you learned to do this kind of magic. This is extremely rare. It's like
I
you're a
wish I had
Blackrock
learned.
shaman. You're a shaman, aren't you?
My father was.
Huh, okay.
At this point, I'm walking away from the demonologist who, wants my blood. So, bye.
He doesn't know it's your blood yet.
No.
I'm still listening.
The guy who pressed all the wrong buttons on the first encounter.
I'm still listening, and
My name is Crowbar.
Yeah, the
Apparently,
one-
I'm one of your champions.
The elf kind of looks confused and says, "You're one of my what? The
Well,
only champions we know of are they're dead. They're like died a while ago. What are you
we
talking
were. I'm going to start putting my armor back on. But as of 3 days ago, you and some of your scholars may want to go check that site.
I think we might need to then. What did you say your name was again?
Crowbar.
Crovar.
And I wave and I go, and I'm Ovar.
Oh, hello. I need to go read real quick. I'll be back later. And the Archmage leaves, and you're now standing there with the very worried and distraught-looking student from before.
Are you sure it was okay to tell them that? Are we gonna?
It'll be fine.
The student walks forward and says, are you fucking with us?
You saw what I just did to that room, right?
But yeah, I've seen shamans do crazy stuff before, but what makes you think you're the champion? That's crazy.
I mean,
There was upstairs some trick, dust, water, magic. Apparently, some old wood elf up there confirmed it.
Old wood elf. That sounds like Master. Okay then. I need to go talk with him, and I'll be back later. And I think I need to go read as well. So now the student runs off and leaves you guys alone.
I'm going back to the nail.
I'll go with you as well. Are you hurt? Are you?
No, I feel fantastic.
You do? I thought you seemed kind of angry in the library.
I was.
He had a Snickers.
I know.
That's basically what it was. It was magical Snickers. Also, just quick thing. Time, it's 5.
What?
Axie, don't you have to go?
No, I have another half hour.
Oh, that's right. I thought it
Oh.
was at 6. Okay. All right. Never mind.
Half hour.
Yeah, I have half hour, and then I need to get going. So.
Alrighty. So now that those the adventures in the Mage Tower have been done with, part of the group is now heading over to the Nail. Those in the library, what are you doing?
Well, Crane was initially helping out with the directions, but other than that, he's not very helpful. So, Crane wanted to try and find an isolated body of water that isn't too far away from town, that isn't used by a lot of people, just so that it's not inconvenient for anybody.
All right. How big of a body of water are you looking for?
Something close to a pond, fountain.
Oh, okay. So you should actually be able to find one fairly easy. All right, that'll probably be, from what you can tell and when you ask around, you can determine that there's a fairly small lake, a little bit like a large pond, small lake, very small lake. That is west of here, or west of the city, just outside the gates, not a little bit before the forest edge.
Okay. Does it lead into a river?
It does not.
Okay. That'll have to be good enough. Can Crane make it over there? Obviously there was a lot of time spent at the thing, so Crane's gonna try and make his way over there and let Diana know generally where he's going.
Do use caution. We don't know what's still running around out in the wherever because the guards are out patrolling.
Certainly. I'll be sure to get back at the first sign of trouble. And you know where I am if something does go wrong.
I'm sure I'll find you.
Okay. So Crane is going to try and find that small lake.
All right, heading out there, you follow the directions that were given to you, and you manage to find it fairly easily. Though you do note that this is completely outside of where any patrols of the normal guards are, and it actually seems rather peaceful around this little lake.
Okay. So
This thing is about, let's say, 50 feet across by 150 feet.
Mm-hmm. So thinking about what Arata did, Crane is gonna just kind of focus for a moment, reach out, do the similar hand gesture, and he
You
wants.
notice that the surface of the water ripples as soon as you do that.
And instead of causing it to flow, Krovar wants to try and make it spike
Which direction?
up.
All right, roll me 80-20. Actually, roll me 3 of them in a row, please.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh,
16, 5, and 12. Okay, so not bad. So you do see the water, sort of. It's this. Okay, you know how it looks when you drop a stone into water and the ripple goes outward?
yeah.
You see basically the opposite of that. You see a ripple form near the edges of the pond, flow inward, and then it grows more violent as it gets closer to the center, and then it lances upward and sort of sprays toward the branches of the trees, sort of hangs in the air a little bit longer than probably should, and then it falls back down to the ground. Or, I'm sorry, into the water.
Okay. One other thing. It's a little bit more complicated, but he wants to try and see if he can do something similar to the ice shards that Arata did, except make them orbit around him.
Roll me a d20.
So 3d20, same as before.
Yes, please.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Alrighty then. So
Wow.
you feel a sense of pure calm within you, and you get an interesting insight as the energy of the water flows in through you and back into the water itself. And you realize that there is a natural synchronicity that occurs with all water magic. And this sort of basis of it makes it so that water magics are inherently reciprocal like this. It's a natural flow, which makes sense considering the nature of water. You also do see that the the surface of the water does something similar to last time, where the ripple starts from the edges and moves inward, except for this time, you see 6 orbs flow upward, like 6 large droplets about the size of your fist, flow upward out of the surface of the lake or the pond, whatever you large pond, small lake. This
Mhm.
thing, body of water, and they crystallize before your eyes as they start to orbit around your shoulders at about 3 feet away from you.
okay.
And each one forms into it looks like a shaped projectile.
Is there like a rock or something?
You're in the
Like,
wilds.
well, yeah, but like, is there like a large enough rock that Crane could use it as a target?
Oh yeah, easily. There's boulders around and stuff.
Okay. I'd like to send these shards at the boulder.
Roll me 1d20.
19.
Alrighty then. So, are you sending all of them or only one of them?
All of them.
Alrighty then, and roll me 3d8, please. I'm sorry, 6d8.
Okay. $26.
26 points of damage, damn. Alright, so you see one after another of these very aggressive looking shards of shaped ice that you had made. Um, all of them turn and point toward this as you focus, and one after another they slam into the front of the stone, each one progressively causing more and deeper cracks until the last one hits, splitting it into like 3 roughly equal shape chunks.
Oh, this was not a good idea.
You do feel fairly tired now.
Yeah. Feeling that, Crane is gonna head back to town. Go back to the Rusty Nail.
Alrighty, so that's what you guys are doing. Nathis, what do you?
I would
So
already
he's
be
heading
heading
back.
back.
Is everyone heading back to the nail, or
I think so.
I suppose so.
already?
Actually, I leave the library and go back to the leatherworkers area to order me some actual better fitting armor than my crude stuff.
Alrighty. The leather workers greet you very happily and says, "Welcome back. How can we help you today?"
I basically explain I want the what I have now is serviceable, but I need something a little more durable.
Something that's a
Um,
bit better fit that allows you to perform Druidic spells easier, right?
right, I need a little more ease of movement and things like that.
The leather worker nods knowingly and says, "Alrighty, I think I know exactly what to make for you. It's going to be a little bit expensive, but I think it'll be perfect for what you're looking for. I've helped druids out before in the past, and well, they have very particular tastes in the sort of materials and methods they'll accept when it comes to the armor and tools they use. So
Right, and
I,
I don't need I like to keep it minimal and simple. I don't want the full Monty thing.
all right, I think I can. I think I can work with that. How about is this leather free range?
Yes, is this leather free range? No, my fur needs to breathe. I do not want to be too constricted.
Give
Fair
yourself
enough.
just a random like hole in the chest, like crowbar.
I'm an exhibitionist.
I'm just imagining like a pet virgin killer sweater with like the heart shape cut.
Oh my god!
my God.
Yes.
What?
Do you not know what that is?
I don't.
Oh, I need you a picture.
Yeah, just get the
Oh my
picture.
god.
But like that with leather armor.
I mean, technically speaking, a lot of games don't always specify how much leather armor you have to wear. They just say some amount of leather. So realistically, you could probably end up wearing like leather bondage gear, and that might still count.
I mean, most of it is
Well-
your dex anyway.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm not going to be wearing much more than that anyway, so it's all good.
So,
So
that's-
yeah,
So, I'm getting the sweater.
Other worker gives you a nod and says, "I think I can make something really nice for you for about 25 gold. And if you want it to be druidically blessed as well, or unless assuming you don't want to do that yourself, I know a fairly venerated druid that has helped me out in the past, and he'll be able to bless it. I'll get that done for an extra gold."
All right, that sounds good.
All right, a total of 26 gold, and I'll be done probably by the morning after next. Mostly because I have to go take a trip down to get this blessed, but I believe it'll be worth it.
There it is. There's the sweater.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
I-
maybe not that one. I was thinking of the other one with the heart shape cut out in it, but
Oh, there's a lot of
Oh
Virgin
my.
Killer sweaters. Okay.
That is
There-
a delicious looking little sweater.
There are a lot of Virgin Killer sweaters, okay? Because there's also like one with just a hole, like just.
That's totally
chest.
kind of exactly what I'm looking for, except it's too long. Cut
I
it
mean-
in
Oh,
like right under
too
the boobs,
long.
and we're good.
There's also this.
Alrighty then.
that was
That would
closer
almost work too, but it's
Yeah.
still too long. It needs to be cut like right under the boobs.
that's what I was thinking of basically.
You know,
Except like a heart shape cut out. But yeah, you do you with fashion in this.
it's D&D. We can have fun.
You can be whatever you want to be, and this is an adult setting, and we're all adults here, so
hmm No immaturity, of course not. No.
oh
Nobody's
no,
got
maturity is the whole entire point. I mean, if you're immature, then you can't have this kind of fun.
Yeah. You know how to do it respectfully.
Indeed. Now, you pay the gold to the
Yeah, I'll just give him a platinum piece.
all right. He gives you change back, and Let you know that it'll be ready on day after tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you. And then I head over to the nail because I'm guessing that's where everyone else went because nobody came back to the library.
Nope.
Where are these guys? They're probably getting fucking drunk.
Probably screwing the waiter is what
Yeah.
they're doing. That's what's running through my head. At least one of them is.
At least one of us, yeah. On the way back,
Either screwing the
actually,
waiter or the waiter screwing you.
on the walk back, I could actually talk to Krovar for a sec.
Yes, of course.
I mean, you don't really have to ask permission to.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to be polite.
There's nothing physically stopping you, so yes,
Oh.
you can.
Okay. On the walk back, I'm just gonna...
Short of me, like, literally putting my fist in your mouth, but
I mean, yeah, but...
Hey, do you mind if I talk to you? Okay.
You know, just checking. I'm gonna ask, so, you're feeling better now?
yes.
Was it because you were doing all that magic stuff?
That definitely had something to do with it.
Have you done that before?
Not that I remember, but it felt familiar. It felt right. It felt good.
Have you, I mean, I didn't really mean to eavesdrop too much, but you said you were the son of a shaman? Shaman?
Right.
Would you mind if I ask what that was like?
Annoying. I remember my father constantly pressing lessons. Do this, do that, focus on tradition, rituals.
I mean,
There was
Isn't-
a bunch of bupkis that I never listened to.
but isn't tradition important?
Tradition is important.
So you listened to it then?
No, actually, I ran off and decided to go treasure hunting, and I decided to make a career out of that.
Oh,
Turns out the other shamans like to, they didn't like getting their hands dirty. So what I would do is I would be their runner, run out, grab whatever bauble or knick-knack they found that was hiding away in the wastes, fetch it, bring it back.
you said you like to hunt for treasure?
Yes.
That's cool. I like to try to collect things, but I'm kind of new to it. I always like to, you know, as a kid, I always like to keep like coin collections and stuff. But since I've been going on adventures, I always thought it'd be really cool to go searching for like magic items or like treasures or like historical relics or something. That could be exciting.
Well, most of it's still a little blurry, but if I remember any of the finer points, maybe I'll teach you a thing or two.
Cool. Are you... You're okay, right? You're not lying to me?
No, I'm
'Cause
fine.
you seemed really mad.
I was mad.
And
Like I said, answers. Letting go.
just like
They
that.
help.
That's all it took? You just
Yeah.
let go? Okay. Well, hopefully I can learn to do that too.
I'm not sure how well you'd take to being lit on fire.
No, I didn't mean that part. I just...
Oh, my fucking sides. You guys are gonna kill me.
Glad you're having fun with our dialogue.
I know.
Well, only if we don't kill ourselves first, which is still an option.
I
You
didn't...
guys are
don't
gonna kill
worry,
me.
there's
Not if I
plenty
kill
of
myself
opportunities
first.
for that later.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
You
ruffle
can't
his
kill me.
hair and carry on back to the end.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna follow, so...
So you all managed to make it back to the inn.
Is the orc waiter from this morning there?
He is.
Oh my god!
I told you.
One-track mind with this one.
No, just wondering.
Just
Seeing
wondering, you know.
Oh,
everyone's-
just wondering.
Just,
I'm sure
wondering.
he's going on
No
break soon.
reason.
So.
You know, I have no
Okay.
There's
ulterior
also
motives
a
here.
rhythmic. There's also rhythmic thumping coming from one of the rooms upstairs.
It's a brothel. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, anyway, seeing all the others get back.
Does it
Oh.
say something about our group that our favorite hangout is a brothel?
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah.
serve good food, so I don't see a reason why not.
Food's good. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Food's good. The ambience is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thump, 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 thump.
Oh, jeez. So Crane is going to notice the others. Oh, great. Well, I hope that it was a fruitful day for all of us.
Oh yes.
Crane's going to look at Crowbar for a moment. Kind of nod.
We should perhaps gather together and, share everything we've learned, since we're, kind of relying on
Sure.
relying on each other to survive.
Sure, of course. I'm not sure if I can show you what I've learned. I'm a little bit worn out. I mean, I'm still fine, but
I just pass around my book again in case anybody wants to look through it, but I'm just going to stay quiet for now.
well, we can probably find a table.
Because I haven't learned a ton else, so
So,
they can look over what I've read.
so first things first. Where did you all go off to?
Mage Tower.
Oh, all right.
Mhm.
Find anything good?
I think I might have accidentally almost blown it up.
Uh-huh.
And the entire city with it.
Wait,
Uh,
what?
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it would have just been the tower. It's fine.
Oh.
I mean, given what happened in the cave, it wouldn't take much for it to spread, but I'm glad that you were able to avoid that.
Nath has helped.
I also learned that there are mages at the tower who would enjoy to have my blood. So, I'll probably not be going
Maybe.
back there anytime soon.
Blood
it's
magic
fine.
is... Ooh.
It just takes like a vial, an anonymous donor.
Well, is there any blood magic that, has consensual participants, or is it just mostly, non-consenting?
Oh, most definitely, but... eh.
Well,
I
I
mean,
didn't like how that answer didn't specify one way or the other.
right. But why would,
should
why-
we bring up... Sorry.
go ahead.
Should we bring up the fact that, Crovar kind of spilled the beans?
It was probably only a matter of time.
Yeah. I think the Archmage may know that we're the champions now.
Oh,
Wait, say what?
And the entire mage tower, because you weren't exactly secret about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Words out.
okay.
Basically, I went back,
They're...
talked with, what's her name again?
Arada.
Thank you. Her teacher. He did some experiment involving gold powder, a silver rod, and some kind of... And...
Now that he's mentioned that, I can finally do this.
Uh-oh.
Connor and Quillen, can you both please roll me a d20 to be able to identify the spell that was used?
Could I do my magical knowledge
You
skill?
can, and I would highly encourage you to do so.
Intelligence check? Okay. That's a 27.
I got an 18.
Holy shit!
From what you two are able to determine, this is an extremely high-level identification. Mostly it's identified as high-level because, one, it uses the gold powder, and 2, the silver rod that was used is also an extremely powerful focus. Though it doesn't make very much sense for the one guy to be using water like he had mistakenly identified. But it would make much more sense if there was some sort of volatile agent used like alcohol. Now, that being said, this is an identification spell supposed to determine if someone is a demigod.
Oh.
As a what?
I relay that word for word, but there's definitely a moment of like, oh, after I realize what that spell is before I tell everyone. Okay. Can I, yeah, so so you say that spell worked, Krovar?
I mean, apparently it did. I mean, the dust lit up, the flames breathing my shoulders. It got really cold. I didn't enjoy that.
I'm just gonna relay what you had said, Zelth, to the group, pretty much word for word.
Um,
I'm sorry, what?
The thing you'd mentioned about the demigods and
No,
stuff.
that was Crovar's reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I guess that would explain the worship.
I mean, if it worked on him, then it probably would have worked on us. And
Well, let's just maybe avoid. I mean, I don't want to parade that kind of information around, but I do think you were right to tell, experienced magical people about it. Just maybe in the future we'll be a bit more careful about that because we don't know what kind of enemies, we had before everything, right?
I feel like the more we learn, the less we get to know about ourselves. Like, what? I feel like just everything is just confusing. I don't...
Well, on the plus side, I've narrowed down where the druid is.
Oh,
That's
right.
true.
That's good news.
Oh, and
It's
Krovar...
still quite a trek from here, though.
Krovar said he wanted to visit Black Rock at some point.
Do
I
we
don't know if
have to?
I mean, he is part of our team, shouldn't
If you
we?
guys will roll me a d20, all of you, roll me a d20 real quick.
Oh.
Just base d20.
That's a 4.
That's a 3.
14.
I rolled a 10.
Well,
13.
none of you got above 15, so I can't say this.
Oh.
I'm tempted, but I won't use it because that could be helpful later.
No, dude, we need the info.
No!
No, I want to know.
It's okay.
I will give you a hint since one of you almost got to 15, but I'm going to send it to you directly instead of saying it over chat.
Okay.
I mean, it would make sense for him if it's
Yeah.
anything to do with BlackRock.
Mm-hmm.
While he's noticing that, I'm going to casually mention, well, if these people worship the champions and we're in the city of the Bard,
Oh.
Oh, look at you. You've got your own city.
Well, we don't know that.
I'm still gonna kind of elbow jab Ovark a little bit.
Gonna just like blush and kind of get like all like
I'm sure-
reserved.
I'm sure your songs are divine.
Should
Oh
we
my lord.
maybe
it
look
kind
into
of makes
that?
sense that one of these central locations in the city is the library then.
Oh.
Oh,
I mean, I like to think of myself as being pretty smart, but I didn't think of it like that.
well, I mean, it makes sense. You're a storyteller, you like knowledge, you're a bard, so...
And you hide
No.
your smut in the tiny little dark corner of the room.
Okay, well, that's a little
Dylan,
bit
I mean-
unfair.
That's, I mean,
Well, I mean,
we don't talk about that.
I wonder if my hometown changed at all.
After 250 years, I would say yes.
I mean, of course, but, like, if it changed because of me.
Oh. Well,
I kind of hope not. I like the
Um,
way it was.
I kind of
Should-
hope mine burned to the ground, so.
Should we check I mean, if this is maybe, it feels weird to say my city. Should we check, for like, I don't know, statues or something? 'Cause,
Maybe. Maybe
I
it
mean,
would be
it's-
good to find out if there are other cities dedicated to the champions.
yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure that this is mine. I mean, it might have been the city of the Bard before I came along, but, it's,
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly,
I
this
mean,
was not.
it was much smaller, really long time ago. I don't know much else about it.
Mm. Well, maybe that's something to look up tomorrow. But
Yeah,
like Diana said, it is pretty long. It is a pretty long trip, so it would be good maybe to get some more coin before we, head out that far. And it's technically along the way, so I don't see why we can't stop by Black Rock, especially if we can, learn more.
But it's not on the way. We have to go northeast and then turn around and go west. Although
Okay, but
we could have
it's still
doing that would
north.
put us going around the mount or the big freaking lake.
Yeah, and it will also keep us out of the Holy Empire, which I'm all for.
why is that?
Half
I
demon,
could-
Holy Emperor. Let's see.
I
Oh,
could
true.
I could take or leave the Holy Empire, honestly.
Wait, isn't that where we grew up?
I mean, yeah.
Well, you two, from what I remember, were down in Eteros. So
Yeah. Isn't that part of the Holy Empire? Or is that not?
that's the orange blob down here.
Okay.
The Holy Empire is the blue blob over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Honestly, it would be nice to go south, but we should go and find this druid first before going anywhere near
Well,
there.
we have at least 3 days before we can leave. That's how long it'll take for them to work the demon hide off.
Ah.
So
I
if
feel
we
like
do a few odd jobs here and there and raise some more coin, that is an excellent idea.
I do feel like we'll be getting a couple more visitors now that the cat is out of the bag.
Well, I plan on keeping a low profile from now on. The only thing we really can't help is word spreading at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
I doubt the mages are going to be very forthcoming to share that information, except with other mages.
Honestly, that might be the best or worst people to share that information with, depending on how we can use it.
Unless they decide to share it with the priests at the temple, which that would not be good.
I mean, it's technically not blasphemy if it's true.
Wow.
Depends on who they worship.
I mean, I worship Ram there. You don't see me trying to toot my own horn about this.
So,
Regardless, 3
yeah,
days.
we
We'll
should-
make up our mind on how we get there.
yeah, for now we should probably go to bed.
It's been a long, yeah.
Think on what we've learned and
Good idea, Natha. Speaking of, and Crane's gonna get up.
Somebody's going to go
Oh.
find a waiter.
Somebody is going to find some relaxing. Actually, no, he's not going to relax. But...
So, am I able to find the waiter?
I did
You
say
are. He is very easy to find.
Oh yeah, you should go first. Yeah.
I did say think on what we learned, not go get your brains fucked out. I mean, you're not really going to be doing a lot of thinking during that.
It's
You
fine.
said go to sleep or go to bed. So
Yeah, it's fine. He's, he does his thing.
I'm
It's
going to
alright.
actually go outside, just outside the city walls, and find a quiet space to commune with nature before turning in for the evening.
Roll
Just
me
gonna-
a d20, please.
Hang on.
I, however, am just going to go straight to bed.
fair.
Should we all...
Wow, so much for finding a quiet
Oh.
space anywhere.
I was-
Actually, no.
I
That
was-
wasn't to find a quiet space. That was to see what information nature may have given you.
Oh well, nothing.
didn't
Apparently,
know.
Not,
No.
got to.
What happens is, as you sit down and try to commune with nature, you have an owl poop right on your face.
Oh my god.
Wonderful. Great.
Well, that's a sign.
Really, I don't know. I wanted to ask. Are we trying to share the rooms again so we save money, or no?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Who
good
should
with
I-
that. I mean, if we can stretch these tokens out so that we can be here for all 3 days, then that's a good thing.
Because I mean, I know Crane's going to be doing his own thing, so I'm not sharing a room with him. But
I mean, he'll
No one's
share rooms
sharing a
then.
room
I mean, he'll share.
I
the
am
rooms
not
the other
going to
day.
sit there
No,
as
not-
the third wheel
he's not
as you
gonna-
guys are off
no.
in the corner doing your thing.
No, he's not going to do it for that. No, he has decency about that. He's not going to do that. It's just like the other days when he's not.
I'm just saying. You know,
Okay.
So
So
you're not going to make me make you roll to seduce the
Well,
waiter.
well,
He's
wanna-
pretty
I want to-
coming early.
Yes, he is.
He wants
He's
to
going
seduce.
Totally wants to seduce the barkeep. Are you kidding me?
okay. Well, I want to go up to the waiter.
He wants
Um,
some fuck.
If and I'm going to order something first.
So the waiter
Yeah,
comes
could
up
I
to you.
please get a double helping of bofa?
Oh, double helping of what?
Bofa.
The
Both
fuck?
of these nuts.
Oh,
I'm catching on to you. You
Okay,
pulled that
I gotta
joke.
wrap this up because this is
I
just
know.
this is a good way to wrap up the session. So
Right, sorry.
okay,
so
so
the waiter comes up and gives you a friendly grin and says, "Hey, nice to see you back. What can I get you?"
it's nice to see you too. I was looking for a couple of things actually. I was looking for a nice big feast with this gold coin, some nice conversation, and your name.
Oh my god.
I would like.
I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Yeah. Do I need to repeat myself?
No, I got you. The waiter says, "All right, well, I can get you those two things, and the third thing. My name is Relang."
Relang, it's a pleasure.
Well, like, relax.
He only wants your name to write in his book. His
I
little
mean-
black book.
It's just polite, honestly.
Don't need their name.
Yeah, you do.
No, you
Mm.
don't.
Just, have some fun. Oh my god. Fox, please.
Well, I mean, I would like to know you a bit more, but would you like? What time do you get off? Are you free for a meal?
In about 5 minutes.
He gives you a knowing grin and says, "Well, I only get off when you do."
Oh.
oh my
Okay.
god.
What time would you like to get off?
He looks at his wrist real quick as if he was checking a watch. He seems to contemplate it really seriously for a moment, and then he says, "In about 90 minutes."
Sounds lovely. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting with the food, and we can have a nice night.
Actually, I have room 305, or he gives you his room number and says, "Meet me up there." And he pulls out a key from his pocket and tosses it to you. "I'll be seeing you."
Great. I hope you have a nice appetite.
Meanwhile, there's
Oh,
just...
I'm always hungry.
As am I. Okay.
God.
And Crane is
And-
gonna take a gold's worth of a feast up to the room.
Oh my god.
Black.
And
cut
scene.
to black. Cut to black. Cut to black. Cut to black.
I know,
Yep,
right?
that's
Come
black.
back.
Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the owl poop and try the communing again, and hopefully I don't roll another one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go into the room with Nathis and Crowbar since we're probably gonna be sharing a room apparently. So
That's better. I got a
Good,
13.
no
this
guano.
time.
All right. So this time you don't get any feces in your face,
Technically, owls
and
don't too.
as you reach out, you get the sensation that the forest is indeed asking for help, and that it really does want you to be out there and removing the disruption that is currently happening. You can get a sense of the direction, but it's still fairly difficult to get a lockdown on where this is, other than you can point in the direction where you need to go, and it's out there. But since you're going, I'm assuming you're going back into the inn, you are not going to be able to make use of that information at the moment.
No, but I will remember.
Okay. Then if you do put that information from what you know about where the bandits are supposed to be, that seems to be perfectly in line of where the Force seems to want you to go.
Okay. I head back into the inn, and I request a bath.
The innkeeper says, "All right. There's some of the baths downstairs. You'll have to get in line though. Some of the other adventurers that have been out and about have been using them, so you'll just have to wait your turn."
I haven't bathed in 4 days.
Oh, right.
250 years and 4 days.
Yeah, we should probably
so-
do that.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we haven't done that in a while.
So I'm gonna say the session ends
The-
with Dream
last
going to
time-
get a
yeah.
bath.
Yeah,
Dream goes and gets a bath.
yeah. I don't think any of us have had a bath since the first day we woke up out of the
Excuse you,
ground.
Crane did. He bathed in the river.
Oh,
Well,
like
yeah,
that
that
counts.
was like 3 days ago though.
But that does count. But